Morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good afternoon session yesterday. Really much better action really in the afternoon session, which we managed to catch as chat for the longs. Really proud of everyone in Discord, catching over 100 points to the long side in the afternoon once it had finished failing to break down. Okay, so what we're going to do is have a look at the daily chart. All right, as always, we're starting on the daily chart. For those of you who have done the beginner to advanced course, you should be looking right now at your typical weekly model. Think about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday relationship. All right, think about that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday relationship. Especially if you're going to look at the ETFs, there's a bit of a hint for you. Okay, so what have we seen? Well, we broke range last week. Friday went into a strong sell. Monday continued that sell. Tuesday gap down into the old point of control on the old weekly candle. Like we predicted in the weekly newsletter and on Monday's morning session, once we got there, it is likely that buyers will try and defend that level. All right. This is also over 50% of a pullback. All right. So it's a level that they are interested in defending. Now, if we look at the yearly profile, you can see we've started developing quite a thick area here between this red box and blue box, which, surprise, is pretty much the weekly range right now. All right, so it's a big level that we're looking at the moment. So we need to be careful of rotations. When we consider this current high of day we've put in overnight, and we consider this edge, and we consider where we broke from, and we also look at the EMAs, what do we have? Well, we have every single cluster there, all right? 5-day, 20-day, 50-day, all here. This is a big level. Don't be surprised if we do a dance like this for a while. It's going to have to make up its mind. If we're going to see rejection here, all right, then today you could think about a look above and fail. Remember, there's not much news coming today. When's all the news coming? Tomorrow and Friday, and the carry trade as well coming Friday and over the weekend. So I would be somewhat aware of this low volume node here, any traps that they want to set in here. Now, if we find acceptance back into the old weekly range, sure, we can rotate in here into Christmas. But right now, we are literally imbalanced. There's flat, there's +2 standard deviation, there's -2, here's your zero line, all right? Just be cautious, I would say. Like, there's no big A+ trade. The A+ trade was that down and was probably that back up, and they made that very choppy. Now we just have to wait and see what we do. Now we can find a little bit more edge here as we move into the hourly charts. All right, so let's just move into the... Actually, before I do that, make a note of these weekly levels, because if you're on the new contract, it's going to show you the weekly levels down there. They are incorrect. All right, they're incorrect. So make a note of these weekly levels. So your previous week low, value area low, 741. That's the main one that you probably need to be looking at right now. All right, into the hourlies. Just focus on here with me. Let's move this down. Focus on here. This right here is the current weekly profile, the developing weekly profile. You can see for now, we are trying to find a bid outside of it. So what did we do yesterday? As a reminder, here's your old naked point of control. We drifted under it overnight. We back tested it. We held it in New York. We went very choppy, but we held that naked point of control. This was the buy zone that I kept talking about earlier in the week and back end of last week and the newsletter, where we'd probably find a dip. All right, this was your 930 on the old contract, 930 level. So since then, we are now building out one of these. All right, there's a new channel being built out. The question is this a continuation to channel to sell? Because I'd say the strong high is there, the low is there. This is your swing point. Right now, we are trading within this swing point, and we just failed that 70 fib. So I'd be aware of that. I'd be aware of this channel. Right, we're not technically backside until we let go of this channel. It's possible it might want to come and sweep this high, maybe reprice some of this low volume node. All of these things are possible. So we need to be aware of that. So what does that mean? There's two plays really I would be looking at for today. If you're going to look for the fail breakout or the look above and fail, you really want to take out this high here, 520s, into this low volume node, and you want to see sellers come in and absolutely smack that back down and produce one of these for a trade back inside this range. All right, so your short opportunity will be a rejection up here or an add here. I would avoid trading in here like the plague, folks. All right, I would not be trading anywhere in, let's call it 330s to 220s. Try and leave that alone. You can see what's happened there. All right, that is your liquidity build area. For me, the easiest move, if you're going to play short, is going to be trying to sell that back into that range. If you're looking for longs, it's pretty simple. Either we hold the current developing weekly profile, or more likely this move back into the previous day. All right, previous day value area high to find a bid around here. There's lots of confluence around this sort of 350, 320 area. All right, so something like this up, that would be TP1, and if you get lucky, you get a move like that. All right, that would be a 200-point banger if you get that today. Would be fantastic. Those are the two moves. If we just come back in here and do this, all right, no trade day for Alex. I'm going to make that clear now. If we're going to trade inside yesterday's range, I am not interested. I'm going to just measure that out just to make triple sure, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate what I put out there. Let me just check, just in case. 930. Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right, so those are the two plays. Look above and fail, or dips inside that hold. Not going to trade yesterday's range, right? Keep it nice and simple. Keep it nice and simple, because there's no big news drivers today, all right? So it's very, 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 very possible that today is just like some of this and maybe a little fail break, maybe a little fail break. It's very, very possible that we do something like that today. Don't go giving your gains back, all right? Don't go giving your gains back. And what do we do overnight? We can have a look at overnight. All right, Asia found a bid. All right, so that big drive yesterday, in Discord, we caught it from down here. We were long in the afternoon. 200 around the 200s. 220 was the trap level. That's where bears got trapped, and we played long. Very proud of a lot of them. Got 100 points. I don't know if any of them sat in more of it for the next dip. We missed my target. My target was 450. We missed it by 6 points. My final target, but it was there or thereabouts. And then overnight, what have we done? Well, after we came up to that target, there was a big puke out. Overnight, we've gone sideways, but we are holding the top side of this range, and you're seeing expansion higher, coming to back test this 20-day and 5-day. So new range maybe to be created here. We will see. We will see. Nice and slow this morning. I'm not going to be attacking it out the gate, I don't think. Okay, let's have a look what else we have going on. We'll have a quick look at the ES and the spiders and the Qs and the VIX and the MAG. Okay, so zooming out on the ES, see where it is versus those levels. All right, coming in for a back test of that 900 level we said was so key. All right, so yesterday we left value. Remember, we've had value here. We had relative strength. It finally left it, and it's finding a bid now, and it's going to come and back test that 900. That's your level. That is your level. We go back inside 900, then we're probably going to chop. If bears react to this, then they're going to look to retest towards the lows, right? So that's very, very similar kind of setup right now. If we look at the spiders, you're going to see the same thing. It's coming back into that range, all right? Pre-market 680. Remember the gamma levels that we had on the way down. I said 75 would be key yesterday. It's pretty much low of day. 75, 680, 682. 685, 688, 690. Those are the levels for you guys playing spiders, but you're looking at exactly the same stuff. Does it reclaim the old level, or are we going to see a sharp rejection of around here? All right, so is this a breakdown and this is a retest to sell, or are they going to reclaim and this is a look below and fail? All to be found out in the next couple of days, I would say. Q is exactly the same thing. So if you're struggling with the rollover, just make sure you're looking at the ETFs. It will do you a massive favor. So we can see where we found resistance yesterday, this edge here. And you could even argue there's a little shelf up here right now, which maybe it can hold if it can get through this and reprice this thin level. So there's some repricing to be done in here. Very, very possible, like we talked about. So dips, if they hold dips, you're looking for that. And once we get up there, may very well be looking for that trade back downside. So probably just trading the balance. Let's have a look at the Dixie. Found a bid. It found a bid. So, well, it'll be interesting to see how we act here coming into the JPY carry, but maybe one of these, kind of similar. Let's have a look at gold. I know some of you are trading gold. Yeah, you're still in that same range by the looks of it. We talked about this yesterday. I can't remember who asked me. All right, these are your pivot highs. All the stops are up here right now. Gold's creating a range in here. All right, if dips hold, they're trying to get back up into this for a breakout. All right, if they fail the dips, you're going to come back in here. That is a failure to take out the high, and we build liquidity, and that can be a little bit dangerous. The VIX, all right, VIX is getting melted this morning. All right, it's getting melted back down this morning. Let's zoom into this. All right, it's starting to lose some levels. This is your new rotation right now. Okay, you can see very, very clearly if we get under here, next pivot's down into here, into the sub 15s, which is very bullish for the market. So just waiting to see how we act in the VIX. You can see it's very much like the rest of the markets right now. We are just in a rotation at level to 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 level. We're just checking out. All right, just think of it like, I don't know, a stair. You got resistance above, support below. You break support, you go to the next level, you test it as a resistance. That's all we're doing on every single market right now. It is a build out. All right, MAG is interesting. Some of these caught a bid. So let's have a little look here. So a slight gap up there on Apple. And you can see really Apple would get going over 75, 76. All right, if it can get back over that, we can maybe trade into the mid. Yeah, 76 is going to be key. Through that, 77's retest. All right, so this is what Apple's trying to do. It's trying to create a sort of 1-2 day base here. If it can break out outside of this, it's got to squeeze probably up into this fib here, up into 77. So it's got a couple points in it big if it can get going. But we do have a gap up there. Amazon, you can see very big gap up there. This was on AI news. So let's see if it can hold. You know, AI has not been holding well recently, but you know, if they hold this dip, which they're trying to do, then maybe they get a bit of relief out of this. That's what they're attempting to do. Where are we in relation to everything else? Not too bad. Looks a bit backsidey, but not too bad. Goog. This one continues to be in this channel down, just waiting for this to peter out. All right, this continues to be in one of these. But eventually, we will probably go sideways and catch a little bit of a relief rally. So just waiting to see what happens. I'd say really there's still nothing to do in Goog from a swing point of view. Meta, I'm still long in this, up pretty comfortably in this, but yes, what are we going to do with this thing here? I don't know. I'm long from down here still, from the 82s, I think it is. Small size, still haven't added. But let's see if Meta can start to box in a little bit, has the chance to come back up. All right, so big if, because this can be like the market, a failed breakout on one of these for the remainder of the year. So very, very similar to what we're looking at in the Qs, opening up flat, but it is above the base. That doesn't look too good. That really does not look too good. All right, one attempt, two attempts, lower high, lower high, lower high, back into base. I'll be avoiding anything with Microsoft right now. And Nvidia, this is the one that's everyone's got eyes on, but it just cannot get going. I don't think it's going to get going until the end of the year. I can't see why it will. It's had numerous attempts to reclaim. You can see like the constant shove up being sold into. So double tops up here, all-time highs, failures to reclaim, failures to reclaim. There's going to be a lot of liquidity built out into these levels. If we get a snap of that, it's night time. But whether I think next week becomes a bit cleaner, if I'm honest, but we will see. Tesla looks very strong, like we've talked about for a number of weeks. It looked good. I kept saying here, it looks good for the breakout. Even this hold of this level looks good for the breakout. We are at all-time highs. 500's got to be the target, hasn't it? 500's got to be the target. Psychologically, we can think about even the leg of the break. Let's just zoom out of here and have a look at some of these. What's the extension? 21s, and then let's have a look at the handle. And the 2618 is 98, so just call it 500. All right, Tesla wants 500. Whether it can get there or not, I wouldn't be buying now, but we've been calling for this break Too many people short side on Tesla, like always. Let's have a look at some of the beta names. Oracle. I'm interested in this once it gets into and fills the gap. So it still looks weak there. AMD should have caught a bit of a bid. Flat, it tried. All right, a little bit no man's landy, like we talked about. Not expecting too much out of this market today. It just looks a little bit messy. A little bit messy for me. Like, look how condensed everything is. So many horizontal lines. I hate seeing that. I hate seeing that. But we will see. All right, folks. What did you guys think was going to happen today? Let's end this poll. Well, that says everything, doesn't it? A third of you looking to just learn and have fun. A third of you looking for dips versus value area high. And a third of you looking for a failed breakout. That is, well, that says everything about this market. That says everything about this market. All right, here's the open, folks. Let's see what we get. Let's get this on so I can see you guys. Hit that like button nice and early for me. We will do some more giveaways today again. Apex did extend their cheap activation fees until the 23rd, so you have a bit more time to pass those. And on top of that, they did just launch at 80% sale as well. Okay, so most of the mag, other than Nvidia, looking okay. Here's the dip back into previous day open, previous week low, VWAP. We're watching that sort of previous day value area high level around here to see, do they want to catch a bid into that level or not, is what I would be interested in. Are they willing to catch a bid into that level or not? Are they going to close the gap? That's what I would be thinking. Just let this settle out, and hopefully we don't have the same problems as yesterday. So far, the indicators in Ninja being very smooth, which is a good news. It's the first day this week where I have not woken up to major tech issues. Long may that continue. Yeah, also $20 resets. Yeah, quite right, which is good. All right, some sellers getting caught at the lows there, being absorbed. We haven't come into the level of interest yet, though. Although we did come into that blue box. I just missed the gap fill close there by a little bit. Into 80s would have been nice. Oh, here they go then. Back to the top side. Bulls piling in here. We didn't get the level that we wanted to buy at. Not yet. So I'm watching. They did come into the blue box. I'm watching this gap fill here and down here to see how we act. So really, you know, I would like to see something like this would be really nice. That would be really nice. We just want to be careful if we get a backside move. So just let this settle down. See if the mag can catch a bid. Here we come, coming back into these levels now. So gap fill potential. Ideally, we come and back test previous day value area high, and they find a bid there. If they, like I said, if they don't find a bid there, I will. And I just got an alert on Nvidia. So Nvidia is crossing downside of a major level, so you want to be careful. I'm not willing to trade in here today. All right, I'm not willing to trade in this zone down here. No chance. No flipping chance. So they keep trying to sell 22s down to 400. There we go, that's better. Wondering what was going on there. Long for the day. Long for the day if we can hold dips, yeah? If we're willing to hold, I mean, I don't really like what we're doing right now here. I'd rather see this close the gap first. We came pretty close on the spiders and pretty close on the Qs. I don't like it when we leave it open by that tiny little bit. So either we gap fill or come down into previous day high. I'm long biased if we show that buyers want to step up and hold it, all right? I don't want to be too biased because if we let go of this range, we're going to go into the death chop. So We're long if we can hold that, and we're looking for a breakout, and we're going to sell the breakout because it's very possible that we're going to do a rebalance. Go to the beginning of the show. I've talked about all of it. Very tight range these opening few minutes, folks. So buyers keep getting caught over 22. All right, sellers keep selling that, and sellers keep getting caught into 400. So you've got like a 20-point tiny little range here. Just let it breathe. You're 4 minutes into the day. Haven't even set that opening 5-minute bar yet. Let it breathe a little bit. See what we get here. Give you a readout on the mag. Tesla 0.85% up. Nvidia 1.85% down. Microsoft 0.10% up. Meta 0.10% up. Google 0.5% down. Amazon just under 1% up. Apple 30% down. So like we talked about, mixed bag. Oracle still getting smacked. Mixed bag in the mag. Right, we've seen rotation out of tech recently, or at least out of the AI risk names, into some of the safer assets, even into some small caps, which is why you've seen the RTY have relative strength the last few weeks. Here we come. So maybe, sorry, let's move this up. We're getting this gap fill now. All right, down into here. Just going to remove this white line. We know where it is, there or thereabouts, and just try and clean up this chart again because everything is so tight. Why it shouldn't look like this though? Give me 1 second. It's a little bit ugly. Let's just reload this. Hopefully it just does it horizontal without all the little bumps in it. There we go. That's better, isn't it? All right, so coming near to this gap fill, near to previous week low, near to previous day close. Sellers got caught down there again. We still haven't quite closed the gap. ES hasn't quite closed the gap. We're watching to see if they close the gap, and then if they come into previous day value area high. And this is the kind of area where I'm interested in bidding in. If they hold this, I'll consider it, but I want to see if they're willing to hold yesterday's value area high. If they're not willing to hold it, I will not be bidding on it. All right, I'm not bidding against it. Make that clear. Okay, gap now filled on the Qs, not filled yet on the spiders. They've still got a little bit of downside to come. There we go. All right, coming into these levels. Right, so now I'm interested to see if we're willing to hold these levels. We might not be willing to hold it, so I don't want to bid against it. I want to see sellers get trapped. So here is SPY now filling its gap, and we are into these key levels, folks. So are we willing to hold previous day value area high, previous day point control around here? If we're willing to hold and we're going to trap sellers, I'm willing to buy. If we're not willing to hold, then I'm not willing to do a thing. I'm not going to trade in yesterday's range. Yesterday told you, yesterday showed you in that range how choppy it was. So I'm selling at the lows here, starting to get caught. I'm not seeing enough yet though. Here we go. Starting to see a bid. I'm small size here then. Very small size and stop already in place. Let's see. Just got to get back through these 60s. Here we go. Here we go. Fantastic. All right, I'm going to sell a little bit of a pop into this because buyers just came in there and got hit with a refresh seller. So I'm being very, very cautious as I start the day here. Not convinced we finished the auction, but sellers are trapped under 40 right now. So that's the level it's going to have to hold. If it doesn't hold 40, then I think we reflush down and we can think about a reload if and when they retrap. But all the time we're above 40, sellers are currently stuck on the lower time frame. Got to hold 40 here. Got to hold 40 here. Testing it. Do not hold beyond 40. There you go. Breaking 40. Reclaiming. Okay, that's a good sign. They're trying to sell through it and not getting their way. Do not hold under 40. Okay, do not hold this under 40. They can snap very, very hard. This is why I've already locked in some profit here. Retesting. You can see how sensitive this 40 is. It's where the sellers keep trying to sell and they're not getting their way. But you want to be careful because if the absorber moves out of the way, this will flush hard. All right, I'm now out of this. So just a scalp to start the day. Can always reload. Oh, you motherfucks. Why couldn't you turn up before I took my stop? Eh? You little prick. You little prick. All right, just fucking hell, mate. Give this a second. That's a nice hold. Really good hold now. Buyers do keep getting a little bit caught here into 60. So there's only about 20-point rotation here, waiting for this ledge to be built out. You've got a ledge at 45. I would still say if they let go 40, this will flush. So just be careful. Big sellers coming in here. And if they get caught at 40, it'd be the same thing. I'll get some volume on here because we are actually developing a bit of a shelf early. Very early. I'm flat on this at the moment, folks. I had a little scalp up there, just waiting to see now. All right, little scalp up, waiting to see. You can see how sensitive this 40 is, right? Every time we're banging into it, there is someone trying to absorb it. But if he runs out of bids, you're going to see a flush. I'm just warning you that now. And the next level down would probably be into 75 and 60, all right, around here. So they need to hold this, really. Sellers got caught there again into that low of day. This is a battle here. We are technically in a sell, but I'm just watching. If we're going to go in rotation, they need to hold this. So I'm still flat in this. I had one go for a small little scalp. And sellers are piling in here. Mag is starting to roll a little bit, so maybe a deeper dive. This is my no-go territory. If we're going to fade into this, I'm not interested in touching it. Technically, we can rotate down to there, but I really don't want to trade yesterday's range. I've made that clear from pre-market. That is not the trade I'm looking for today. We're either going to go expansion and I'll trade upside, or we're going to do a failed breakout of the high and I'll trade downside. I'm not going to trade in the chop zone. And they go. So more sellers get caught at 10s. And technically now red on the day, not me, the market is technically red on the day because we're underneath PDC. And we just see here. Trying to reclaim its PDC here. It's attempting to reclaim. We're attempting to push. We're attempting to trap. Are they going to have another go here? Yes, they are. So they're reclaiming 40s. This is very, very fast moving at this point on the tape. Just be careful here. Tempted to have a bid here, but this is fast moving on the tape. Someone's pissed off. 40 remains key. Sellers now got stuck at 20s. They're trying to resell 40s back down to 20s here. And let's see if these sellers remain stuck at 20s or not. But I don't want to bid against this until I see a strong reclaim. How are we doing for time? 4 minutes left until the orb set. So here's the retest of these 20s. And do they leave these sellers stuck, or are they going to reflush? Looks like a reflush coming into 300s. Here we come. So strong selling on the tape today. I'm not going to bid against them, like I said. Now we're underneath value. This is a no trade zone. I'll just sit this out, let this do whatever it is it needs to do. If they really want to sell this down to value, by all means, they can go for it. I do not care about that trade one bit. Not one bit. London low. London low's been and gone. You probably mean Globex low into the sort of 94s or something. The Asia low. London low's been and gone. London low was around sort of 79. Okay, sellers got caught at that low there for just a nanosecond. Let's see. SPY coming into its 20-day. So SPY about to complete its mean reversion. VIX is starting to break out. This is looking pretty heavy sell side. So again, not bidding in this zone. They will have to prove themselves to me and want to reclaim levels. Otherwise, well, there's not really much I can do with it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I can't do much with it if it's going to come into my no-go zone. God, I've got a sore throat this morning. Let's watch. Delta is offside at 22s, sell side, so they're comfortable at the moment. They will become offside if we print back above 22s, and then there might be a nano squeeze up to 40s. 40s is the level I'm interested in trading in and around. I'm not interested in anything else right now. There's the tap of the 22s where that seller was. He refresh sold it. So he's still in control right now at 22s. He's reloaded on the tape here as well, making himself known. So we're watching. If they're going to break out, they're going to have to get back above 20s. Otherwise, these sellers are well in control right now. Here's the tested 20. So they're coming up into this guy. He's still reloading on the tape here. He's reloaded again and again. And now we've popped him. Do we see relief through 20s now? It's a failed breakout. He's just reloaded again at 20s on the backside of this. Bulls need to get back above 20s. Here they go. So they're going to try and rotate from 20s to 40s now if they can. unless this fella comes back in a little bit higher. Still can't get through 20s. They're trying. They're trying really hard here. We've got a passive seller on the book now because we've just tried really hard to push through and not getting acceptance. Definitely someone reloading 20s over and over again, sell side. Here you go. So bulls had a really good attempt there, couldn't get through. There's a refresh seller there at 20s. This is the battle now, 300s to 20s, and if they get through 20s, 40s. If they fail 300s, I'm going to come straight back down into 65s. Still waiting and watching. Still in my no trade zone right now. We have to get out of this zone for me to be interested in doing anything today. I do not want to trade yesterday's range because if you just zoom out and look at yesterday, it's pretty ugly, that range, isn't it? We don't want to trade there. And we've now lost developing week's point of control, developing week point of control at 340 as well. So that will be previous day value area high, developing week point of control 340. That's your over under for the day. That's your sentiment shift for the day in my mind. Sellers still in control here. They're absolutely in control. We haven't even popped this delta at 320s yet. So sellers still in control here. So coming back to test these 20s again. Is that refresh seller here or is he gone? Are we going to now start to move? All right, I'm getting interested now. Popping through 20s. Can we reclaim the 40s? Remember, that is your sentiment shift. Higher time frame sentiment shift on the day is 40s. 20 to 40 still remains a rotation right now. So they're going to try and refresh sell these 20s after that failed breakout of 40s. It perked my interest and couldn't hold. So still waiting to see. Are we going to move out of this range? Where do those buyers get a little bit caught there? 35s. VIX starting to break 1660s as well. New lower day coming here. There's value area low on the session. Sellers got caught into that value area low. God, this range is getting very, very tight as we wash between these two levels. Very, very tight, this range right now. Feels like they're going to go expansion into 72s at the moment, but we'll see. 70s to 60s. Big seller coming in there, so stops all getting run here. Your opening range now breaking. Here you go. There's the 70s that we just talked about finally coming in. And I think they sell through this. Yeah, they've got complete control of the market now, these sellers. Big sell. All the way down. All right, they took control. Losing this shelf, you can see into thin. And we're going to do full rotation to previous day value area low. So we're going to be, unfortunately, in the area that I'm not prepared to trade in. I do not have ambitions of trading previous day's value when we can look at how we reacted in previous day's value yesterday. It was not very pretty. It is not very pretty. So I'm avoiding all this area. Unless we reclaim an area, I cannot see a trade that I really want to take here today unless we're going to go reclaim of areas. Can't place an order on Top Step. My biggest advice would be fucking leave Top Step. What are you doing trading with a firm which is notorious for having these issues? Why are you still trading there? It's not your fault, but what I would say, instead of complaining about it, leave. Leave that firm. Posted about it a year ago, posted about it 3 months ago, posted about it a month ago, posted about it yesterday on my Twitter. Leave a firm which is going to keep failing and taking your money. You do not want to be trading at a firm like that. You're going to continue to have Top Step X issues, all right? Project X issues. No one works with them other than them now. All right, they don't even have a developer. He left. He quit. They wouldn't pay him enough money. Michael Patek, too greedy. Do not trade there. Okay, where's the level now? 300s is the reclaim. That's your opening range low, value area low on the current session. 300s is your reclaim up here. You can see we're just developing another shelf down here. Sellers are in control here, folks. Sellers are in control here. This is not what I'm looking to trade this. Unfortunately, this is not what I'm looking to trade. So we'll see. Unless we reclaim, I have no interest in trading this. We talked about it pre-market. This is not what I wanted to see today. I do not want us just to go back in value, especially after an aggressive sell without really taking that liquidity at the high. So yet again, NQ leaving that 520 high. I would have been happy to trade downside if we'd probably taken that first, but there we go. And the move really for the sell was probably 9 a.m. this morning, before 9 a.m. even. We'll see. Let's see. Maybe I'll think about taking an eval if we're going to have a poor price action day in previous day's value. And definitely don't want to trade my PAs down here. Yeah, Nvidia cracking those levels, dragging this market. Remember, we got that alert that went off. Morning, Bella. Morning. Okay, it's probably going to come into value, and then remember this old naked point control that we bid off yesterday. I really didn't want to see us back here, so if we're going to reclaim, we've got to reclaim these shells here. These 320s, oh my god, we're going. Fucking hell, mate. Did we just hit a gamma level? Where's SPY? Nope. Okay, well, I'm watching these same levels upside, so we've got to get back above 320s and 340s. Not just push, we've got to start holding higher lows above it. Every push is being sold into this morning so far. Every push so far is being sold into. We do have someone trying to step up on the bid at 75 here. Let's see if he's a Mr. Algo and he walks away. Trying to support a bid here. 320s and 340s remain the level for me, like of real interest. So I'm going to see some big flip in delta here as we trade into point of control on the session at 10s. What was the sentiment shift? I've got trying to remember. 340 is the big sentiment shift. 340 is the big sentiment shift. Bit of a wiggle there. Bit of a wiggle here. We're going to do a squeeze. They're not bidding until we get down to 75. Someone's got themselves caught down here. Some sellers have got themselves caught down here. Back into the opening range on the day. Are we going to revisit this 340? So we've got a shelf here, sort of 315s. Get through that 340s, get through that as bigger squeezes on. But until that point, sellers remain in control because we're underneath previous day's value, or we're inside previous day's value. If we start reclaiming, though, it'd be interesting. It will be interesting if we start to go reclaim. But for me, sellers still in control. But there are a ton of sellers on this break. All right, think about how many sellers came in here. If we are going to... We can't just poke above them, all right? We need to do this, and then there's a squeeze. Until that point, all right, this is where the sellers have come in with size. If we do this, there is a squeeze out possible. It's how they've set it up is horrible. Not tapping that and letting go of previous day value, but I wouldn't even call it a C setup. Honestly, I would not even call it a C setup. Let's see. I'm interested in trading the squeeze if they want to do it. Here's value on the day again, 10s. If we get through this, we're going to go 40s, and that's the big level. Is there anyone selling up at 40s? No, they're selling 20s still. Okay. I hate that we left the highs, and I hate that we left value area low. That is nasty. Here's VPOC again. If we get through 10s and 20s, the move is to 40s. That's what I'm really looking for. I know I keep saying it out loud. It's half of it is to tell myself, you know, more than you guys, to try and like tell myself, don't predict, just wait for it to do it because it hasn't reclaimed anything yet, and it hasn't even hit previous day value area low yet. Does feel heavy, I agree. Pops are still being sold, but all I'd say is from 947 to 948, a ton of buyers came in and got themselves caught on that flush down. So if we can stay above those, ton of sellers, sorry, in here, tons of sellers came in. Where's my, right, you see all this, sell side heavy, this breakdown, right, and then we shifted delta and they tried again. So if we hold here and do this, they will remain stuck, which is what they're trying to do. And sellers are here. This is why I'm watching this 340. That is the move that's possible if these sellers start to cover. So I'm just watching this on the delta and on footprint and on Bookmap to see what happens. We're right into point of control on the day. Right, big shelf. This is the most traded level so far today. Is right here. What trading platform? well, buy your accounts on Tradeify, and then you can choose a platform that suits you. I execute on NinjaTrader, but if you're web-based, because if that's why you use Project X, just get used to trading on Tradeify. Okay, so we're going to come and fill some of this imbalance that we just talked about. The key now is, do these sellers stay stuck? What I don't like, I'm going to talk about, we've left this. All right, so we left liquidity at the highs by how much? Not very much, by like a couple points, and we've done it at the lows so far as well. It is, yeah, it's naughty, 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 Mr. NQ. You're doing it on purpose, but it is rollover week, so to be expected. Again, we're dancing in this range. I do not want to trade in. Can we get out of this range? Yes, I know. What, guys, I'm going to tell you something. Maybe you're new here. Stop fucking trading on Top Step. There. I've said it. I've said it aggressively. Stop wasting your fucking money paying Michael Patek for nothing. He's not going to fix it, guys. He's so focused on moving to a brokerage account, he can't even have you trading on Sim and look after you. And now he wants to go, give me your money so I can crash a brokerage account and take all your money. Just stop. Stop giving them money. Fuck him. Fuck the guys that trade over there. It's all bullshit. It's a facade. They try and act like they're better than everyone. They're not. They're not better than everyone. They're the opposite. So stop giving them your money. Instead of sitting here telling me it's down again, it's down again. You've been doing that all year. This isn't me digging you guys out, but you need to stop and look at yourself. If it's down yesterday, and it was down again today, and it was down 3 weeks ago, and it was down 4 weeks ago, and it was down 2 months ago, and you know the web developer left, and it's a web-based platform, why are you trading there? That's what you have to ask. Why are you trading there? Would you buy a car which is breaking down over and over and over and over and over again? You wouldn't. So don't waste your money on someone that wants to steal money off you. There you go. It's a little rant, but it's to protect you guys. I've made my feelings clear about this, not just on this stream, for probably over a year now. All right, they failed to break the low there. We're still developing this like sort of shelf in here. Those sellers definitely got caught in that imbalance into 70 there. Watching this to see now if we're going to pop, because sellers definitely got caught into that imbalance. If we're going to get through the teens, then we can trade up to the 40s. And that is what I'm really interested in, is how we act once we get up there. I'm really interested in this at the moment because they're starting to try and aggressively get this through the 20s. This is the level. If they get through 20s, we're going 40s. Bing, 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 bing. Can you get us through this level, buyers? Can you get up to 40s? Don't want to see a failed breakout. Need to see continuation up to 40s. Otherwise, it's a two-leg that they're going to come and smack back down. And we're looking at this seller who's caught up here. That's where I want to trade his pain. So we had sellers come flying in here, get themselves caught. Big sellers were traded in here, all right? This seller is getting squeezed to here. If we squeeze this guy out, we're coming straight back upside. So that's why I'm watching the 40s. Here we go. Through the 20s, please. Can we get through the 20s, please? Get up to 40s and offer me something really good for the day. Here we go. Come on, baby. Get me my 40s. Let's fucking go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Little bit off. Little bit off. I want to add back on if we get over 40s. Oof. You got to get back over 40s. Need the seller to get caught and him become my liquidity to sell into. Let's fucking go. Get over the 40s. Buyers keep getting stuck there. Down to 1. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if I'm right here. We've got to get back over this level. Come on. Abuse this fucker here at 40. Let's go, motherfuckers. Let's go. 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 Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Don't let him reload this. Do not let them reload previous day value area high. Let's go. I need to look below and fail. We need to go upside, 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 upside. Fucking go. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Rip some faces here, please. Do not want to fail back inside value. Do not fucking dare do this. Hey, at least I paid myself. Still holding 1. Want dips to hold into 20s and 10s, really? There's a couple imbalances from that squeeze out. They need to hold 20s and 10s. They definitely cannot become back below 10s. Sellers are currently offside under 298. So that, I mean, that's the last. I wouldn't be holding down to there, but if they reload here in 20s and 10s for a re-squeeze up, it would be really good. But definitely sellers are stuck under 300. So you do not want to see this go back under the 300s right now. Let's go, motherfuckers. Let's squeeze this. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You've got it in you. Trap some more sellers here into 30s and 25s. They're protecting previous day value area high right now. We need to be very careful if they keep protecting that, because that is saying that we want to go back into the rotation again from yesterday. Remember, we didn't hit previous day value area low. Here's the move back into 20s. Some sellers coming in here at the low of this candle. They're caught again. Can we see expansion higher now? Caught them offside again. Got to get back through value, through 40s, and we will squeeze. They're trying to refresh sell this into 40s. It's getting tight here. We just need to get through 40s for a squeeze out now. Come on. We caught some more there. You've got to get back through. Let's do this squeeze out. You don't need to reload one more time. Squeeze it out now or I'm out. Squeeze it out now, I'm out. Oh, you motherfuckers playing around games. You idiots. You idiots. Someone wants to play games between 20 and 40, so I'm not going to sit through it. I'll just re-wait now for us to get close back over 40 for a re-add. Not done below? Yeah, I mean, it's possible, but like I said, sellers are caught under 300. Until sellers get back under 300, they're in trouble. They might well come back under 300 now. Here's the retest. This is where the delta got stuck last time, right into this 300. If they close back under here, we're going to go low of day because we did not get down to here. But made good money on that last shove up. Just what we needed to get a close over 40s, so I didn't re-add until we got over 40s. But now we're waiting. So here's the 300 test. This is where all the sellers got stuck. And they're still remaining stuck. They're still covering. If we flush this, we're going lower day. This feels like yesterday looking over at SPY and VWAP at the moment. They've got to get back over the VWAP on the spiders. Not going to rebid this now. It's had its one attempt. This could be a 1-2 that is resold down. So I want to be careful because they 1-2 leg. They can resell it. I was positioned for... Where's my pen? For this move here. They failed, so if we get one of these now, they're going to come right down into this because they haven't tagged it yet. And we know this is the old naked point control, no longer naked. So it's just an old weekly POC down here. And they're under 300 now, or there or thereabouts. Just having a look at the mag here, mixed bag. Equally weighted down 0.18% on the day, equally weighted on the mag. Here we go, low of day probably coming now into value area low. Buyers had the chance, failed, and we're back into my no trade zone. So just wait this out now. This is sloppy delivery here at the moment. It feels, watching the tape, feels like two guys are a little bit stuck either side of each other because that battle, that 20 to 40, that happened. What time was that rotation? Where was that horrible shove and puke? Was it here? Yeah, here at 10 a.m. That new candle. That was kind of gross. Both sides, not gross one side. Like it felt like they were stuck against each other. They're not getting closed below 300 here, these sellers. It's like micro squeezes. Someone's positioned offside here. It feels like the sellers are positioned offside under 300s to me. No, you just held it again. So they're going to have another go for this 20 to 40 rotation. Stuck at 25. You can see the sellers at 25. So there's a passive seller here at 25, 30, well, 40 and 50. If we get through him, we're flying. So that 300 seller I talked about, he's still stuck. We're holding this shelf. 50s is the level now. If we get through that, there's a big old squeeze. I am back in this now from 310. Value area high here is key. If we get through value area high, we are going. Come on. It's your second attempt. You can't fail a second attempt. They're refresh selling up here again. Oh my God, these games are crazy. There's a buyer moving his price down. Okay, we've got a big spoofer on the tape now. Fucking hell. He's definitely stuck if he's spoofing like that. 100%. Now he's trying to walk back in. Let's think about this. He's bidding lower, pulling it. He's the seller. If he's bidding and pulling, he's the seller. So he's spoofing to move this lower. I'm out of this. If he's going to spoof to move it lower, I don't want to play. Because it means he's a seller. So I'll just wait. I'll wait for a close back over 40 to buy this now. Sorry, I have to talk out loud in my head sometimes. I have to talk out loud in my head. There you go. So he's reselling it. So he was spoofing the bid so that he could come in and sell it. And then he's pulling his bid so that we can flush down lower. That's why I had to say it out loud. Head's still waking up here this morning. Head is still waking up. 300 still the level, point of control. If they break down under here, this is actually a fail to move higher now. I'm trying to be neutral looking at this. This is a fail to move higher. If they break this, then this is available. But this is where the sellers got stuck, this 300. And this is the range. You got 40 points here. So you got 300 to 20 rotation, 20 to 40 rotation. Over 20, you need to break 50s and then the squeeze is on. And they keep refresh selling into these 30s up here. You can see it on the tape. See, this guy's just walked down again. Real messy. Real messy here. Are you going to come and fill these guys at 40s and 50s? No, refresh seller again here. No one bidding back up now. What are we doing? Are you going to go 40s, 50s and clear now? Come on then, go if you're going to go. You're faffing around so much. Come on, if you're going to go, go. Value area high. We've got to get through value area high. Through value area high, there's a squeeze up to 70s. Through value area high, there's a squeeze up to 70s. Remember, this is the pain point from that big seller this morning we talked about. I'll go back on Bookmap and show you him in a bit. Should squeeze through here. Here comes the 50s. Buyers were offside here before at 50s. That big seller is at 57. The old big seller, the old delta is at 57. We should go and test him, really. SPY and ES now through VWAP looking much better as an alignment. VIX got crushed back under previous day's low. Alignment is upside. It just depends if this refresh seller is going to keep being a pain up here. And the answer right now is yes, he is. My God, why won't you let it retest? So they're leaning on previous day value area high right here. They're leaning on this level to try and resell. This is another failed breakout to the high side. All right, so this is two attempts now to break out. 1, 2, they cannot get through here. The more they try, the more buyers keep trying up here, the more they get stuck. Sellers are now stuck down here. This is the rotation. If sellers win, they will get this. If buyers win, they will get this. This is your liquidity build out. It's tight range liquidity build out, but that's what you've got. So 300 to 40 is basically your liquidity build out. I'm waiting to see if they will abuse some of them, but right now, nothing. Back down to 300. So that refresh seller coming in again, not even getting filled. Back to point control on the day. Huge liquidity build out here, folks. Sellers right now are caught offside. There's big delta at 300 and then more at 90s. That's where the sellers are caught. Buyers are caught offside at 336, 338, 347, 350, which we haven't tested for a while. That's your rotation, right? That's where it's testing each side of. Until we base above or base below one of those levels, it is nothing more than volume being built out. And SPY rejected VWAP again, and VIX catching a bid off previous day low. Oh my God, this is messy. Can you please make your mind up? Well, to be fair, we did say in here is going to be no play because of what happened here yesterday, right? If you look at yesterday, It's telling you what it's going to do in here. So it's why we need to wait to get back above value. It doesn't look very good though right now. Does not look very good right now, I'll tell you that. This is like yesterday. SPY can't get back above its VWAP. All day yesterday, SPY was holding us down. Every pop into VWAP got sold until we came into that last couple hours. Here you go. So they're taking control. Back to the 300. If they sell 300 here, I would imagine we're going to go low of day if they can close through under 300. Otherwise, same rotation, 300 to 40 to 340. Yeah, I agree. He was a seller. Exactly, Raf. He was spoofing the bid because he was sell side, right? So he was putting bid support in and he was selling down into it, and then he was pulling the bid hoping that we just fly through it. That's why I was saying it out loud in my head. I'm like, okay, if he's a spoofer bid side, then he wants the price lower. So just waiting. I've got to wait here. Got to be patient. We're in my no trade zone. Alex, you're in your no trade zone. You said you wouldn't trade here, so don't fucking trade here. You said you wouldn't trade here, don't trade here. Don't push buttons. I've had a couple attempts. I'm up nicely on the day, but I did tell myself I would not trade in this level. So maybe if I'm going to take something, I'll take some evals, but not some PA. Look at this, moves around 300. It's getting tight, folks. Jesus Christ, this size coming in is wild in this candle. What are you doing? Someone's stuck. Two people are stuck. Mental. Let them fight it out. I'm going to sit here and have a coffee and watch Bookmap. Look at, you can see in the last few seconds, we went 290, 320, 290. Like, quick. Level. Like a, I don't know what you call that. Spring. They're waiting for one side to get stuck and pop. And at the moment, it's just a battle. $2,370. Have I got a guy above that I couldn't see? Yeah, I mean, you can see the big bids are down at 237s. Is that previous day value area low? It's above it. It's there or thereabouts. This just does not look good. This looks like yesterday. This is why I said I wouldn't trade this level, because price yesterday showed you what it wants to do on this level, which is be a pain in the butt. The buys yesterday, it was 220, right, chat? The guys in our Discord, we were bidding off naked point of control, break of 220. There's the squeeze. That's where the sellers are stuck. From yesterday, you've got short sellers stuck down here. They will remain stuck down here if we don't let them out. So we also need to think about that, because there was big size stuck down here yesterday, and this is the key level. So if these guys remain stuck, we drift upside. If these guys are let out, we can't rule out this. We can't. I'm not thinking about that until we get under value, and until we have to reject 220 and 200, and then we can think about that melt to 800s. I didn't think it would come today. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not think we'd do this move today. I still don't, but I'm aware of it, saying it out loud, because I'm going to have to shift tone. If we start letting those sellers who were stuck from yesterday out, if we start going into a major sell, we have to be aware of that. Have to be aware of it. Almost 500 of you watching. Thank you for joining, everyone new here. Thank you for joining. Smash that like button, smash subscribe. I'm here Monday to Friday from just before the New York Open, 9:15 in the morning, New York time. We go through pre-market analysis, the levels I'm looking at, the trades I'm looking at today. I've been very clear at the trades I'm looking at. Actually, none of them have come in, if I'm honest with you. We didn't get the look above and fail, and we haven't held value. We've gone right back into yesterday's range, which was the one trade I said I did not want to take. The only other trade I would consider, if we lose yesterday's value, like I said, if we start losing yesterday's value, we have to be very aware of this weekly level. It's a 50% pullback on the fib. It's an old naked point of control. But if we start rotating under here, there is a sell, previous day low, and this is the next target. That's based on the daily profiles, right? If we go back to the dailies, for those of you who might be joining late, it's important to make sure you're zooming out, understand where we are, all right? If we are going to keep losing this, it's possible we're going to test the bottom side of this shelf again. This is the old POC. All right, and if we lose that, the next level was really 800. I would expect buyers, like I've been saying, expect buyers will try their best to defend this area. This can easily be a rotation. You can see this part of the D shape. This can be a rotation here. So we need to be aware of that. Bulls really technically don't take control till you see that from a technical point of view, but they will try and defend this level here. Put this back on. Sorry, folks. Okay, so they've caught them again in and around these same levels. We're getting a huge node now starting to be built out. It's a 10-point node. You can see this. Do you remember anyone that was here yesterday, the grey box, which was the rotational box? Well, it was probably around here. It's here again. All right, that is your rotational node. Until we leave that, until we have a breakaway from that, you can see this refresh seller here. 366 lot. He's trying to refresh sell at 320s. Green on the day, staying patient now. Perfect. That's all you got to do. That is our job every day. Thinking about purchasing the program, does the indicator draw the volume zones out? No, we do that like ourselves manually. Honestly, you're better off to draw it manually as well, getting good habits. All right, fill in this seller here at 20s. Are we going to start to squeeze through 20s? Is it going to get back to the 40s? Is it going to reclaim 40s and go for a squeeze through to 50 and VWAP at 65? Or are they going to refresh sell these 20s and look for that rotation again? We are, see the gray box? We can, do you know what? I'm going to remove this just to clean it up a little bit. All right, that's your rotation. We've got another little node here. Can they find acceptance above all of this area, or is it just going to be a pop to sell into again? So New York VWAP here, they're going to have to clear. There's lots of problems now. You've got previous day point of control, developing profile point of control is this thick red line. New York VWAP, previous day value area high. Above that, there's a squeeze out. Until that, it looks a little thick to do anything. They're based on VP, Nick. Yeah, based on VP. I do look at TPO occasionally on a 30-minute chart, but to be honest, if I'm looking for like single prints and stuff, I can see it anyway. Back to the 300 then. So the 320 to 300 rotation continuing until we get a close outside of one of these levels. We don't really have an edge in this market. Sellers trying to get aggressive here. This is where they keep selling. The biggest delta on the day is right now sell side at 298, and they just caught them again. Right, 298 is the biggest sell side delta, and then 250. Right, so they need to get under 298 to get down to 250. They're having another go here. ES rejecting VWAP again here, but it's holding its 20-day. Zoom this in. It can't get a close either way here. This is so ugly at this point. Back to 300. Are they going to sell this? Are they going to resell this, I should say? Can they get a close? No, they can't. Trying again. They're trying again to sell and again to sell. They're trying again to sell. They're struggling here. There's definitely a little bit of passive buying, well, a lot of passive buying trying to absorb the tape here because they've had numerous attempts to get under that delta level. And a reclaim again. Wow. Back to the 20s maybe. Passive selling here, 10, 15, 20. We're just in a very tight range here, folks, while they make their mind up. ES rejecting VWAP again. So SPY is stuck between 20-day and VWAP. It's basically at its mean reversion. That's what you've got on the SPY. And the NQ, well, the Qs are, well, they're below every key moving average right now. But we're not getting follow through to the downside that they keep looking for. And this is terrible. This is like yesterday. No follow through. Sellers should take control here at this point. Like they've had enough opportunities to take control. Kind of weird that they're not in many ways, you know. You've got the opportunity. Why not grab it with both hands? Failing again there at the lows. Fucking hell, sellers. Back to 300 again. Oof. Make your mind up. Back to test 300 again. That's where that delta was offside. Volume point of control on the day now 306. We're starting to move away from volume point of control, but we're not seeing follow through. Down to value area low on the session now. Can they expand this under 80? No is the answer so far. Sellers came in again, got absorbed again. So there's still a passive buyer here, and there's still a passive seller above. Passive sellers were at 340s. Then they moved to 320s. Now they've moved to 300. They need to stay in control of 300. If they stay in control of 300, there is a potential wash. Value area low soaking again at 280s. Oh my God. We're into... Anyone who's been joining me here for months, we're back into those 20-point range rotations on NQ. That's what we're back into. So really, sellers need to reject this shelf, all right? They've worked really hard to get back under this rotation. Failed look. They've worked hard to get under. They need to sell this now back down to value area low. If they fail to do that, they keep flying in here. If they cannot get this break, we'll probably do this move. And this is like your avoid at all cost kind of area. You do not want to trade this grey box, right? You can see every time we come in the grey box, it's kind of gross. So that seller was 300 like we talked about. And we're coming to test him again. And again, testing him. Bids are all the way down at 240 right now. I'm somewhat surprised. Where are we at SPY? 78s? There must be a gamma level at 78s. Under that, we go 75s. There must be. Can anyone tell me, is there a gamma level at 78 today on SPY? I bet there is. Oh, I bet there is, mate. Market's gone to sleep. Come on, market. You should move lower now. You've had so many opportunities. These sellers are doing a terrible job, if I'm honest. An absolutely terrible job. Mag's starting to go green here, folks. Mag is starting to go green here. Here's the relief. Back to point of control on the day now. This is so bad. Back into that grey box. Reject point of control. Sellers still have an opportunity. All I'd say is I'd watch this rotation on the mag. Back into grey box. Oh my God. Can we have a trade today? Can we move away from this one way or the other? Please, market. Please, please, please. Let's see where this is versus those. Building a shelf. Yeah, it's the next level. Just trying to find a bid back to view up in it. Still SPY on the VWAP. Still stuck. Just look at the SPY. Stuck between VWAP, PDC, and 20 days. Right at your mean reversion. We have no edge here at the moment. Literally no edge on any time frame right now. Back inside yesterday's value, probably at the midpoint of yesterday's value, we've created a point of control inside the midpoint of yesterday's value. Until we get a break outside of these levels, you're going to continue to see this kind of nonsense. All right, back up to where that buyer last got stuck, 357 lot. We're now above him at 17. We're going 20s. Like I said, the rotation is starting to take place on the mag. This is the one thing you want to be careful of. Can we get back above 40s? I'm interested. I'm definitely interested if we hold dips into 18 now, because that's where buyers came in. If we hold dips into 18 and then we get back above 40s, I'm really interested. and his previous day point of control and developing profile point of control. You got to squeeze through 40s now. You've done so much hard work. Let's leave this range. Let's leave this bullshit that you've created. Okay, 40s, 40s, 40s. This is where we keep trapping bulls. I want to see continuation now. I do not want to see sellers come back in and defend all this. Otherwise, we're going back into range, which will be like yesterday. It's what happened yesterday. Every time we came up, we defended. And I don't want to trade range. I'm going to avoid range. So I want to see a break away from range today. I tell you what, though, we are holding the opening range low. Sellers here, 45, 50, 65. Are they willing to hold? Where's that buyer coming? 18s. 18s is the level. Above 18s, buyers are going to take control of this market for me. Above 18s, definitely above 305. Come on, SPY. You're going to get through your VWAP finally. QQQ trying to do the same. I will consider dips into 318s and I will consider buys above value area high on the day if we can base above, which is 40s and 50s, which we're starting to now do. Just be careful. We are like right into the edge where buyers keep getting stuck up here. So I will consider dips if 18s are willing to hold, not if they're not. So at the moment, we're just showing another rotational day. Look at the profile. It's very much like yesterday. Edge to edge. I don't want to fade this. I'm waiting for a break outside of this. Can you let me draw it? There we go. Well, what did we say? 18s. We're back under it already. So no dips. And no trade. No acceptance over. Can't even hold the big delta that came in. So no trade here for me. Same zone. And I'm not going to trade this zone. If it's not willing to hold key levels once it develops it, there is nothing to do. I will happily trade downside if we leave the zone as well. I'm not going to trade in and around this zone. Just look left. Look what it did earlier today. Look what it did here yesterday. I do not want to trade this zone. Oracle's getting slammed. I just got price alert. We're getting close to that gap now on Oracle. All right, so semis must be getting fucking murdered. Nvidia 2% down, Oracle 2.73% down, AMD 1.7% down. What happens once we close that gap on Oracle? That's a question. 178 was the gap fill on Oracle, right? I think that was the gap fill. Back down to value area low on the day. Still haven't hit previous day value area low. We are in a tiny range rotation. Most of the range is taking place here, folks. 40. Remember, we never got a close above 40. 40 to 280. So, 60 points. You got a measly 60 points. I'm not a range rotation trader. I try and avoid these like the plague. So we have to wait. We have to wait. Do they complete their rotation all the way back down to previous day value area low? It's questionable. It's possible. We can't rule anything out. Anything is possible, but at the moment, I'd say no one is in control. Bears probably have the edge, but no one is in control of this market right now. Bears have the edge. They should complete rotation. They've had enough attempts to complete rotation. They should really come down to previous day value area low. But why are they not aggressively leaving? Must be a passive buyer on this tape on dips, and it's passive selling on the highs. So you've got two participants stuck, is the way I'm seeing this. You've got someone absorbing here. You've got a buyer absorbing this, and you've got a seller absorbing this, which is why you're just getting this with no continuation. If this buyer leaves, they should complete this. If this seller leaves, they should complete this. At the moment, there's nothing. There's literally no trade to be had for, in my mind, until we leave this value. Exactly, barcoding, yeah. Well, that's it. This grey box, right? It's just a barcode. Now, the fact that we're rejecting this, we should, not necessarily will, we should complete rotation to here, but it hasn't. I don't know why. Why are they being so weak? If you're going to take control, take control. Spy man can't get below its 20-day, can't get above PDC. It's so ugly. It's so ugly in balance. Oh! Yes, Tom. Yeah, current New York profile on the right, my friend. Yes. Back into grey box again. The big buy delta is at 18, so we're probably going to come back and test that big buy delta. They should have held that on the dip back down. They didn't. Do they resell against it? This is the 18s. They're getting back above it again. So are we going to go all the way topside? I have no idea, folks. I don't know what they're doing with this right now. SPY coming back to view up again. So it held dips into its 20-day again. It's coming back to view up again. Again, I will be interested if we can start to get closes and bases above 40. I was interested in dips into 18s, but we didn't hold. We just flushed straight through. So this delta at 18s is not doing anything right now. We have a 334 lot at 18s and a 255 lot at 20s buy side. So if they protect that, they're in the money. But they should have already protected it. We're going to go back to 40. So rotation still happening. So top of this range. I'm interested over this. I am interested over this. If we base over this for a squeeze back out upside. But at the moment, this feels like yesterday. Well, yeah, it's just like yesterday. Yesterday, just selling the highs, buying the lows, selling the highs. So all they're going to do is keep us in this 60-point range. I'm good, thanks. I'm not playing a 60-point range. I like 100-plus point players. The wall is 610 QQQ. Well, we're over 610. Oh, you mean? I see what you're saying. You mean the put wall? The put wall was 610. Is that what you're saying, Julian? Market would be like this till January. I think it's waiting for the carry trade, which is the 18th and 19th of this week. Yes, I think once we get out of that, be all right. And remember, it's OPEX week. It's rollover. You've got all the options expiries. You've got rollover, and you've got the carry trade. When you get out of that, it gets much easier. Like this week's always a piece of shit because you're moving contracts. Look at this seller coming on the book, 880 lot at 350 now. These guys coming in with size here at 20s again. Make your mind up. Make your mind up, please. SPY failing VWAP up again. Very tight here. Nothing to do here today, unfortunately, folks. Such a shame. But we had a great afternoon yesterday. We had a really great day Monday. We had a really great day Friday. Well, it's like 98% chance that Japan are going to raise their rates. So if that happens, it is it's not very likely. No, historically, let's put this in perspective. Historically, it's likely that they will start to sell their positions in the US market, especially their growth positions, i.e. stock. If they do that, all right, then you might get a cascade because if they start aggressively selling, you're going to have a liquidity issue where everyone else starts selling. The only thing that I would say that I have in my mind is if everyone's looking for that trade, it won't happen. Because people are more prepared for it after, August 2 years ago it happening. People are more aware of it now. So I don't know how we react. I just know that it's something that I'm going to watch. I want to see what happens. Yes, sir. Yes, I do. I just have it on my other monitor. I can only show you so much. But yes, I look at footprints. So all the buyers stuck up here, and we've had some sellers stuck down here. But the end of the auction is actually buy side at the moment, which is not too good, which means it probably has not finished auctioning lower. Other than, what is this low down here? Yeah, it's not amazing excess down there. Back to value area low on the session. Are we going to go edge to edge, or are we going to finally come for previous day's value area low? Yeah, Josh, I mean, that would be the hedge, wouldn't it? That would be the hedge. And the reason gold's moved up is that has been the hedge for 2 years, right? Asian markets have been moving out of the dollar. Here we go. So maybe now we have an imbalance down here into 60s. Again, sellers no follow through. Still a passive buyer on the tape down here. Sellers no follow through. They need to see follow through. Really, if we're going to leave value, right? If we're going to leave this value, current day's value, I know it's developing, and point of control, they need to come and tag this. This is to complete the rotation. Why are they not doing that? Must be passive buying. Buying, trying to step up here is 70 and 75. They should just flush him and go down to 40 now. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls his bid. 110 lot here. He's leaning on that old 285 delta sell side that was there. We're probably going to flush him here. Yep. Here we go. All right, so we're moving lower now. Here comes the 40s. They can't reclaim 70s. You've just worked so hard to get under 70s. Come down to 50s and 40s. Here you come. Come. Now, on Ninja Trader, I have previous day point of control down here, just so you're aware, folks. Here we come. Okay, finally seeing that aggressive move. Can SPY leave 78s? Here we come. Can we get down into previous day's value area low now? That's really the question to complete the rotation. They took so long, but they've built out enough liquidity now. If you did take this, your cover points are where you are right now. Previous day value area low. This is your old naked point of control. Previous day lows all the way down here. I don't know if you get that, if I'm honest. I would imagine they will try and defend this area here. So just, I would be very, very careful. We're still within yesterday's value. Okay, so this is your cover point. If you can get this, this is your initial balance low. If you can get this, fantastic. Right, we're tagging into it now. So make sure you're paying yourself here, please. You must be paying yourself here, please, if you did take this breakaway. Yeah, Nvidia, like we talked about right earlier, like it's losing key levels. I did talk about the price alerts I had going off on it. Here's previous day value area low. Make sure you're paying yourself here, please. You must be paying yourself, and then your runners beyond this. Big sellers coming in here at the lows of this. They might get themselves caught here. Just be careful. If you get down into this old point of control, it's 180s as your target. Fucking hell, they took all day to do that. They took all day to do that. Okay, into this green box. This is your next target, 180. If we flush 180, then you got previous day low. But I would imagine, they don't have to, but I'd imagine bulls will try and defend here. So I would be covering, I'd be down to like 20% of my size if I was you into this level. Really close to that POC. Remember, this is a big level from yesterday. They took so long to leave value, but really nice. I mean, did any of you take that? Like, congrats. If you're a range trader and you took this, we left volume. They took so long to do it. There's the breakaway. There's your cover point 1. This is cover point 2. This is cover point 3. If for some reason they want to absolutely yank this, then you've got 800s today. But I doubt they do that today without news. But you see that it's starting to get reaction in this green box. Make sure you're trimmed. Nice. Lots of you got it. Oh, that makes me really happy, guys. Those of you who join here, who are new here, you might be like, well, you didn't trade it. I don't trade range, guys. I will call range for you all day, every day. I don't trade range. I like expansion models, but I will do my best to call it for you. Short NQ, thank you for the commentary. You're welcome. Nice, Chris. 600 for Chris. Sloth with the win. Got the short in my M2K. Nice work. 2,000 out of the micros. Nice. Sold now, 304 flat, nice. Grey Kitty with the win, Ronald with the win. Chad hit 2 good shorts, thanks bro, nice work folks. Lots of you getting it. Myron, John Dennis, George, Bart, Calypso, Ty Turner. Nice to see some old names in here that I recognise. You got approved for the payout this morning, Richard? I love it. I love seeing my students get paid. Nice work. 620 on that. Nice work, folks. Okay, naked point. Well, it's not naked anymore. Old weekly point of control. This is a big cover point. All right, around here. Around here, around where we are now. It's a huge cover point. If you see continuation, you can think about previous day low. But like I said, I would have maybe 20% left now if I was you. If you took this break or leaving this liquidity, I'd be having some more off here and then waiting to see if they want to come down in here. We are now. There are two trades set up now. It's very hard right now. If we reject value, we can trade lower. The hardest thing is knowing how thick a level this is. Right? I'm going to make this obvious to you guys. This is possible. This is where we're trading at. You see these two nodes? This is the current year's profile. Big node, big node. All right. I'm very aware of these players. So that's the only thing. All right, here you go. Basically at that white line, make sure you're paying yourself. Do not be a dick or a tick. Nice, Richard. Nice work, my friend. Really nice. All right, white line is the old point of control. Doesn't mean we can't keep selling. SPY might really want to come to 675 now, which is probably the next gamma level. It doesn't mean we can't keep selling, but you don't want to be short down here at low of day. You need to see a back test really of at least previous day's value area low, and maybe really even the shelf that we've created. So I could argue right now, you know, sellers make this hard for me, aren't you? You're gonna let me draw it. Sellers really need to defend this. I'd even argue down to here. Right, sellers are in control if they defend this. Really, if they're looking for expansion, they'd want to defend this. If you see this, all right, this trade here will happen. And if they get through it, up to here. Right, so if we look below previous day value and reclaim current day value, this trade in here and here. So if you're desperate to take the long, that's your look below and fail level. Right, so sellers will need to lean on previous day value area low. Buyers will want this to be a trap underneath it. Try and see what do we have on the tape down here at the lows. We do have some sellers caught down here under 92s right now. Is it worth trading the week of Christmas or New Year's? It really varies year to year, mate. I would say, you know, let's deal with that as we get into it. The reason I'm saying that, I don't know where we're going to close this week right now. We've hit my main target for the week is right where we're at now, right? This white dotted line. This was the main target for the week. We need to see how we close this week. And we can only really think about what's coming ahead once we see where we close the week, what liquidity we have left to search for, and how we act. It would be irresponsible of me to say yes or no. Is volume likely to be lighter? Absolutely, it's likely to be lighter. Does that mean there isn't a good trade setup? It does not mean there isn't a good trade setup. There might well be some really good trade setups for you, but I don't want to say it yet. It's a little bit early. We have plenty of time yet to develop what's coming next. All right, someone just tried to sell 170 and got themselves caught. So you have some sellers down here starting to try and aggressively sell outside of 170. They're retesting them now. Do they get follow through is the question. We have a buyer at 160, so maybe we're going to come to him. Here we go. So here's the trade to 160. Now, question now is, do we see expansion into previous day's low? Do we see expansion into previous day's low? Very possible. SPY's got another $1.50 to get into 75. We're seeing some excess left down here, but sellers are very aggressive. I would not bid on this market right now, guys. We've left yesterday's value. Until we return back inside yesterday's value, there is no buying opportunity in my mind. This is probably covering opportunity, but no buying opportunity. The buying opportunity will come, right, if we do something like that, right, back inside yesterday's value. This becomes trap sellers, but right now we're probably going to come into this level at the moment. Previous day low is at 25,072. Every pot being sold into still. Some more limit covers here, passive players on 60, 155, 150. We probably fill all of these guys on a little flush. $155, 150s. Here we go. They're bidding lower and lower, so they're trying to drag this market down. They're probably going to come down into this. This was probably it. It's kind of nasty. It wasn't much of a push, but that was probably the retest to sell. This wick here, I missed it. It wasn't enough for me. But there we go. I'm not going to get everything. So this is your next target, 25.73. If they're going to go mega heavy, we are talking about 24,800 today. If they're going to go mega puke day, you're talking about 24,800 to make you aware of what is potentially available today. At the moment, I'd say previous day low is probably the target that they're looking at. They keep bidding and moving their bids down, which is going to help this market sort of look for expansion lower right now, because it's going to just search. It's searching for value and it can't find it. So it's going to keep going down all the time. It's searching for value and can't find it. It's going to keep auctioning lower. It's what you're getting at the moment. Constant auction lower. They're still auctioning lower. They're still looking for value. There's some bids here at 120. It's still going to come lower. It's got no reason to stop right now, right? There's zero reason to stop at the moment. This is very heavy. Only thing, why has NQ done this? There's a habit of it doing it recently. All I would have liked to have seen today for this move was just a poke into here. All I wanted to see today was a New York poke into there and that. And they didn't do it. They've become buggers recently. All right, you're going to get your final TP here. You're into blue box. This is where we found demand before. This is previous day low. If we snap underneath that, you never know what's next if they snap underneath that, folks. You just never know what's next. But I would be trimming my positions if I was you right now. You can't rule out 24,800. You can't rule it out. They're still searching for value. We have not found value. ES, by the way, has taken previous day low. SPY has not taken previous day low yet. QQQ has taken previous day low. NQ hasn't. So we've got divergence. Just so that you're aware, we are starting to see some divergence across the indexes right now. Just trying to make you aware. There's no reason to bid on this market in my mind. We are breaking outside of value now. We are trading lower, searching for value. There is no reason to try and bid on this market right now. If you try and bid on this, you're counter trend. No reason. Every pop's still being sold. There'll probably be some relief at some point, maybe once it takes previous day low, unless they cascade it. Yeah, probably be some relief, but you know, I would not bid on that. Why bid counter trend when we're leaving value? Here we go, liquidity here, 195. Still think they will probably trade underneath that. Once it snaps that shelf, it's probably going to get pretty nasty pretty quick, I'd imagine. This is where buyers keep trying to step in and they keep getting passively sold. We haven't hit that previous day low yet on NQ. We have hit it on all the other indexes now, other than SPY. ES has hit it, but SPY hasn't. So maybe a bit of relief here up to 150, maybe up to 170 for them to resell it. I don't know. I don't think they're done. I do not think they're done. You got the lappy dappy. Man, thank you. You bugger. You bugger not giving me the FBO. They're going to come fill this guy at 150 probably, and then see if they resell it here or 170. There's probably options right now. Is the 150 or the move into 150. It's an old imbalance here. Here's 150. If they get through this, they're going to go 170, and then they're going to see if they sell that. This is 150. It's an old imbalance. So this is counter trend squeeze up, and if we get through here, then they're going to check 170. All right. I'm just looking at the imbalances on the tape and the delta on the tape. It's still, for me, it's still a sell. It's if you're going to trade upside, you're playing counter trend. I'm just telling you the levels it's likely to go and back test right now. ES did sweep previous day low, but I still think there'll be one more attempt to move lower here. Back under the 50, they're checking this 50, they're checking buy side imbalance now, 43, and then what's this level here, 35, and then 20. So here's the one more attempt to move lower. If they fail to move lower now, then maybe more relief. But like I said, I think sellers are still remain in control of this market. Santa lost somewhere, yeah. His sat nav went off, didn't it? Japan stole him, I would say. So good. Oh, okay. There we go. There's the push and fail. We're underneath this old weekly point of control. This is the target. They still want to take this out if they can. That's what they are trying to do. I don't think the auction's finished, folks, when I look at the lows. I don't think this auction's finished, but we'll see. It's a bit of a wiggle here. I still don't think the auction's finished. I think we're going to trade lower here. They're trying. They're trying. Here we go. They're going to try and sell this down. This is what I was saying. Didn't think it was finished yet. There they go. So they just poked above the 50. What did I say? 50 was probably level. 59 they got to. If they closed above that, they were going to test 70. So probably new low of day coming here, folks. There's some covers into 100, but you're probably looking for previous day low if they flush 100. So it'd be interesting how they act here. Can they get back through this 100 mark? Back to the 100 again. There's someone front running this 100. I think we're going to sell through it, honestly, and I think you might get a little flush here. If you're still in this short, you want to cover some onto the next flush because it might be excess. And if you get lucky, you get all the way down to previous day low, but definitely want to be covering some if you're still short in this into the next flush. Big sellers keep trying here, not getting their way. Be careful. I think it will come, but I don't know it will come. You should be runners only really now anyway. So they're front running that 100. I still think they let go of that 100, but it might just take some time. They might need more relief. Buyers are trying and trying and trying and trying here. I think they're going to get hurt. Here we go, back to the 100 again. They can't get through this 100. So there's passive buying, front loading in front of 100. I'm very surprised we haven't broken it yet. It's probably coming. Here's 108s. Here comes the 100 check, and we will probably snap underneath this. You must be covering into this region here. Huge level. Here it comes. Here it comes, folks. Make sure you're covering some into this. There you go. Here comes previous day low. All right, be careful now because the auction can end here. I want to make that very, very clear. The auction can end here. So previous day low is your target. Below that is a bonus, but we don't know how far down this goes. Maybe you get the 800s. Really nice. Congratulations, all of you who took that. Please make sure you're paying yourself here. I don't know if they end the auction here because we expect that flush to wash everyone out. I don't know if you get some divergence. And I'm just looking at SPY as well. 675. Right, that was the level we said. They pinned it there yesterday and absorbed. Maybe we reflush through. Here's previous day low. All right, you should be down to very small size now, looking for your next level is 800s. It is an absolute bonus, right? It's 200 points away. But if you get that next level, it's here. But just hold on to your runners now for this because this could really, really pay you. If any of you manage to get that retest up here or you're still holding, you've hit basically every target. Now it's just like, do you get lucky? Do we get a big expansion model down into this? But you've hit all your targets there. You've hit all your targets there. Your big money should have been made today, all right? You've hit all your targets there. You should not, how should I say? You should not expect more downside. If you get more downside, fantastic. Do not expect it. Manage your positions accordingly, all right? While this is happening, I'm going to use the bathroom and get a refill on my coffee, and I'll be right back. And hopefully, when I come back, we've puked to 800 or something, and then you guys can tell me how rich you are. It'd be great. All right, how we doing, chat? We there yet? Still selling. Nice. Still selling. All right, W's in chat if you absolutely murdered some of this today. Hopefully you did. Again, like I said, there's no reason to bid on this, all right? My thesis, like I talked about, this morning, we needed to really hold here for buys. Once we got inside here, I became uninterested. That's yesterday's value. Once we reject yesterday's value, it's a sell down to here, or here and here. And if they keep selling it, they keep selling it. We are leaving value. There is no buy opportunity right now in this market. We are in a strong sell. The only buy opportunity will be when this leg has finished, right? And for whatever reason, they feel like they need a pullback, and maybe they trade back into kind of here. And, you know, that will be your counter trend buy for them to probably resell unless they reclaim. All right. So just be aware of that. If you're going to play buys now, you're playing counter trend because we're leaving. Look, we're leaving IB. We're leaving previous day value. Okay. I will tell you this now. There's sellers came in aggressive into 25.50 there. I would say really a potential small squeeze can happen back over 100. That would be like the level of that counter trend squeeze where it could take place, would be back over 100. But I'd be very careful about thinking about any longs in this market environment. But there were definitely some sellers caught down underneath 56s. But I really would not be touching this long. I think it's very, very risky to touch this long. Nvidia now 3.26% down. That thing's breaking those key levels we talked about. Half W, I didn't murder it enough to clear consistency rule. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Yeah, lots of you getting it, which is awesome. I love to see it. Well done, folks. Well done, folks. Okay, watch. You can set a price alert on SPY. I'd watch that 75 over under. If we fade that, I know that there's gamma at 70. It's a fucking long way down. Another 50 points for ES if we get there. I don't know if we do it today. It's exposure for the end of the week. Yeah, I know. It's mad, Adam. VIX trying to take out previous day high. Not there yet. So we just had to wait for that chop to end. Still more selling here. Still more selling here. I'm going to go back to that daily level. Got to have a look here. We're coming right into the edge of this shelf. All right, the edge of this daily shelf is basically 25 and 33. Maybe they bleed it a little bit extra. I'm just looking at the volume profile on the daily, all right? That's for the yearly volume. If we lose this, let me get you over here. This is what I'm very aware of. I wouldn't be a new seller down here. This node, this is your volume from the whole year. This is a big node. If they lose that, the next one is at, well, basically 25K. There's a tiny little node at 25K. We lose that, we're thin all the way down into this. Oh my God. Let's just move this out a bit. We're thin all the way down into that. All right, so I'd be watching. Either buyers come in now or they come in at 25,000, basically even. If they don't, well, we get that 800 move I've been talking about. So they're trying to come in now. They're like, fuck, please, please, Santa, come back. Save my swings. That's all right, Troy. Look, all that matters, that means you're doing the right thing. You're sticking to what you need to be doing, right? You're sticking to your rules. You're sticking to the rules placed upon you by the prop firms that you are trading with. Big selling delta came in there at 56s, where we are right now. Are they going to offer a little bit of relief here? Because they just caught a few people there. The answer may be yes. Where can they relieve up to 77s and 95s? What is the exact pair? I'm trading NQ. It's not a pair. I'm just trading NQ, mate. Not trading Forex. Willa Williams, the volume nodes coincides with SPX 67,750. Really interesting. Now, here's the relief that we just talked about. You might have heard me just whisper it. If they get over 57, where are they going to go? Probably 77 and then above that 95. So we're just in like a little liquidity building phase of this market because we've done a strong move down, right? Strong move down. They're going to have to build more liquidity before they decide what next. We can't just move one direction all the time, all right? They have to rebuild people into the levels to then use their pain to play with. Yeah, well, it needed it, Peter. When you look at that walk up on zero volume from the holiday week, it was done on zero volume, and everyone's like, no, volume doesn't matter. It fucking matters, man. It matters. It matters. And this is what you get. So AI fears, carry trade fears. You see the numbers yesterday, they weren't good, all right? Every single month since January, unemployment has ticked up. Every single month, average wage fees has gone down, and job creation is down. So it is bleak out there. I've been saying this for a very, very long time, right? You got to know what's under the hood. What's under the hood doesn't look good. Doesn't mean the markets can't move higher, but in terms of the economy, it's not good. Eventually, you will see this news start to make it out into mainstream media. My concern would be, I would imagine Donald and his compadres will do everything they can to make sure this news does not make it out into mainstream media before the midterms. Because if his whole what should we say, strategy was based on I will save the economy, and he comes out going, yeah, it's not looking so good, he's going to be in trouble. He's going to be in big trouble, right? So that's the one thing I'd be aware of, the political factors. We all know he's going to put a new head of Fed in. We all know it's going to be a puppet master. Even when he was interviewed a couple of weeks ago, and they said, "What will you do?" And he said, "Whatever Donald wants me to do." I mean, you're supposed to be neutral. But I think what you're going to see is a crack in the economy. I think you're going to see some major flushes coming Q1 next year. And then I think you're going to see a rush for the Fed to cut. I think this whole "we're going to cut one time next year" bollocks. They will fucking panic and they will go into 3 or 4 cuts and big cuts because they will feel like they've got to inject some capital back into the economy. And I think you'll see the range that we created this year could very well be retested a little bit. It's been a big year. Remember, we're up 50-60% off the lows of year. You know, your job, but the way I see it, if you're a swing trader, if you're trading a low risk like ISA account, if it's from the UK, or a 401k or whatever it's called here, your job's to make 10% a year. That's the average growth of the S&P and the Qs, right? 10% a year. 10% a year is a decent year. If you bought the lows, you're up 50-60% of the year. So it needs to calm down, folks, right? It needs to calm down. Everyone got a bit AI trigger happy. Okay, so we're going to come and test these 94s now by the looks of it. So far, underneath previous day low, starting to reclaim previous day low. We're inside this little volume node. We're probably going to test sort of 94s, and if this is an old sell side imbalance, which we're coming right into now. And let's see if they get through that. We'd probably go back up to value area low on the day. But if they resell this, then they're going to retest the low. So there's a node 94. Where's 94? Somewhere around here. Right, sellers will want to retest this. And if they do, they get a break. Buyers will just want to get this move back into this level for the day. All right, I would be very skeptical. I'm going to put this. Those who've traded with me a long time will know. Easy money trade's gone, right? Low-hanging fruit's been taken. If you're going to trade long today, you counter trend. Maybe you catch a bit of a squeeze, but the easy money was the short back down once we left value. Here's the 100 test, or this 94 kind of test. And you're also watching ES into previous day low here. And if they sell this or not. Do they sell this or not? Otherwise, they let it back through to value. And if we get back through current value area low, then I'll be watching that 170. Value area low is here, by the way. So it's same area. Sorry. On NinjaTrader, value area low is 130 right now. 130 on NinjaTrader. So here is value area. This is value area low on NinjaTrader based on tick. So do they fade this? Do they fade this? Or do they just go, fuck you, for the rest of the day? We'll find out. We are about to find out. Oh, I'd love prices to come down too. I want to get net long. But I want to see like a 20-30% decline in the market. Okay, there you go. They're reselling that against 107s. They didn't even make it there. And buyers will want to hold now into 73s for relief. Into a little bit of a shelf here. Little bit of a volume shelf here that sellers are trying to lean on. If they don't lean on this shelf, we're going to go 30s. They're trying to lean on this shelf, the sellers. We've reclaimed previous day low now. I'd say this weekly point of control becomes pretty key up here. Make sure you're zoomed out, all right? So think about what we're doing right now. All right, 2-leg. They didn't take this high, which is naughty of them. They sold it. We're going to reprice. We might well build out some liquidity here, which will offer either this trade down or this one back up, which means, you know, today and tomorrow we might just go into a rebuild of liquidity unless they're going to really hammer this thing. I can't believe that they left that fucking high at 517. That is naughty. That is naughty of them to do that. I mean, it's not that big a puke. It feels big, Peter, but if you think about what we've done, all we've done is to trade into previous day low, right? And all VIX has done is to trade just shy of previous day high. All right, so it's in confluence with the move, right? It's not like we've broken out previous day low. We do that and we start breaking out previous day high on the VIX. Give it time. Right, buyers will want to hold this little shelf that we've started to build here into previous day low. They will not want price back below this, these counter trend buyers. Sellers they want to absolutely tank this now. They will want to make a new low. Buyers doing a pretty good job there on that last dip in. You might see some relief. They've got to get back through 22s here. That's value area low on the session. I know it's not on TradingView, but it is based on tick. 22s is your level. Buyers need to get back above 22s. If they get back up there, they're going to go 170s. All right, this is value area low on the session. It's just delayed across here. 22s, somewhere around there. All right, that high, that's your value area low. I can show you here. All right, that's what I'm looking at. That's value area low on the session. Just be aware of that. So if we're going to see expansion, sellers are going to defend this. So this is now your rotation. Buyers defending this, sellers defending this. Build out of liquidity. Whoever wins gets the next move. Bit like earlier, right? Build out of liquidity. But we know it's high time frame demand down here, and we know we've hit low hanging fruits to the downside. Just joined. What is the ticker on the screen right now? NQ. Yeah, CPI tomorrow. Carry trade 18th to 19th. Back up to value. So the buyers are trying to get back inside of current value. That last spike defended well. This is the key level. This white line on your screen. It's there for a reason, folks. This is value area low on the current session. Buyers need to get back inside of value if they're going to see a rotation. Otherwise, sellers are going to defend that level and look for expansion lower. $50 minutes left, folks. We're going to do an Apex giveaway as well. Thanks for all the new people joining the stream. Hopefully you're learning, getting some nice trades as we go. Not the easiest model today. They made it a little bit tricky not taking liquidity at the highs and faffing around in that grey box for so long. But we are now starting to see expansion. All good, Joe? No. Look, there's no stupid questions in this stream, man. Ask away. No stupid questions. This is the level we just talked about that buyers need to defend, this little shelf, and this is the rotation we just talked about. So if we can just put this in here. Buyers are trying to defend this. And I'd say 57s. Right, they don't want it below 57s. The reason I'm saying that is it's all sell side delta underneath that. Buyers need to defend that grey box there if they've got a hope of going higher. I wouldn't be buying this today. You counter trend even though low hanging fruit's gone. But if they're going to buy, that grey box is where they need to buy. Under that, like I say, good night, sweetheart. For any of my older English friends, maybe you watched that back in the day. Great show. Your value area low is 263. Well, that's 100. And even if you were on here, that's considerably higher. Previous day value area low is 222. Current day value area low, which is adjusting based on tick, is actually 115. So this has got to catch up, but it's actually here 115. Here you go. So buyers are failing to take control of the market. Here we're testing that delta level I just talked about, the edge of that grey box, 56. Underneath that, it is all sellers that are stuck. If we get acceptance back into there, we will probably make a new low. They are not done with this. They are not done with this by the looks of it. So value area low was defended. This white line on the screen, you can see how accurate these levels are. White line defended, back into grey box. If they resell this grey box, we will probably make a new low, because all the sellers who are stuck here are going to be let out. We just got to watch here. Big sellers came in here at 49. So 56 and 49 are the levels for sellers now to defend. They will not want a reclaim of those levels. Big seller came in here, 89, sort of 49.50. We're testing him. He will want to resell this down. He will not want to get caught here selling the lows. I mean, I would not be selling these lows. It's psychopath, but they are trying to sell these lows. Do we have divergence there to ES? I think we do. Yes, we do. So ES made a new low there, folks. So slight divergence there. Be aware of. If we don't go lower, do I think we go back to 300? Today, unlikely. I think we probably make a B-shaped profile. I think what you probably get like a double distribution, I would imagine. If we don't go lower, I think what you probably get is like this distribution here and this starting to thicken up and something like this and like a rotation for a day. If we don't go lower, if we break, then obviously we're going to leave the shelf, and this is still the target down here. So what do we say? 25,000 is a big target, whole number, and it's the little sort of high volume node, the micro high volume node. Think about the daily profile based on the year. We have a little thing like this, and then we have nothing until we get like this. All right, so if this was a yearly profile, this is what it would look like. So we can mark this out. I'll put a little box in here. Sorry, guys, I've got building works outside my house right now. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. It's pretty annoying. All right, so I'd say here is a high volume node on the yearly. And here's the break. So sellers taking control, and now they're going to look for 25,000. Like I said, I would not be a buyer in this market. Like, you're counter trend if you're buying today. And how they act into here will be key. And if they break that, there's nothing really until we get down into here. I still watch Goodnight Sweetheart now. Great show. Shame they never brought it back after the one-off episode in 2016. I didn't even know there was a one-off episode in 2016. I'd love to watch that. Maybe I'll check that out. Okay, here we come. 25k coming up. And under that, really only looking at 800. I don't know if any of you reshorted this move into current value area low on the session, but here's your 25,000. So you better be covering some into 25,000. If you get 800 today, I'll be very, very happy. I'm going to have to find a way of getting involved if we're going to do that. So a little reaction here in front of that 25,000. Sellers got caught down there into the lows. They missed 25k by like 10 points. It's a pretty big reaction here. So sellers came flying in, 14s and 10s here. I still want it to hit that 25k. Come on, market. Down you come. Come and take out all the liquidity. Thank you for being so detailed oriented. Why can't I say that? You're welcome. It's the only way to be with trading. We can't, if you're not detail orientated, I don't know what you're doing. It's kind of risky, but I'm sure there's plenty of YouTubers out there who are not. No, sellers down there under 14 still stuck right now. I still think we should trade lower, but look, can only say what I'm seeing on the tape. I still think we should trade lower, but what I'm seeing right now is there were a few of them caught at 14s. The big sellers came in at, you can mark these levels above you, 20,050, 20,056. That's where the big sellers came flying in. So they don't get squeezed out until we get back above them, right? So sellers still in control. We can very well come and test where those big sellers came in, which is what we're trying to do now. So we're going to come back up to 50 and 56 and see if these sellers reload here. If they get squeezed out here, we can go back up towards value area low on the day, which is basically just above 100. So we're testing those 50s and 56s where those sellers last came in. see if they refresh sell this. The answer currently is yes. They are trying to refresh sell it. We have not seen much liquidity. Watching the book to see if someone jumps in here. Not seeing much yet. They might get squeezed out here. Here's the 56s. This is where they need to defend. These sellers will need to defend this level. There we go. They come back in. There you go. So that was a ride to 56s. Couldn't have been more accurate if I tried. We got to 58. Sorry. But you can see that's where they needed to defend. 50s to 56s. So there's still a passive seller up there right now, willing to defend that level. You are seeing positive cumulative delta trying to come into the tape off the lows here. We have divergence at low of day. So delta didn't make a new low. Price did make a new low. Think about that in terms of who's passive, who's aggressive. You're seeing more aggressive buying up here, and we are absorbing it sell side at the moment. I'd say those 56s is key. Tapping back into it again, these 56s, those sellers will want to defend this. They will not want this over 56s. If it gets over these 56s, you might get some of those bigger guys forced to cover. Trying to get over 56s. There's a little node here at 65s. I think over that there's a squeeze. I would not play this long. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. Like, if you want to play it long and you're a counter trend trader, by all means, but I'm just going to tell you what I'm seeing at this point. We're tapping into that high volume node at 65. Over that, there is a squeeze, potentially all the way back up to 100. Here it goes. Tempted to jump in a bit on an eval, but here it goes, folks. So over the 56s. All the time we're over 50s, 56s, those sellers are a little bit stuck. I don't think we finished the auction because we didn't hit that 25,000, but here we go. Sellers coming back in. So let's see if a buyer tries to absorb this aggressive selling. No. Okay, flush, here we go. There we go on the flush. So you can see that grey box held up, previous day low, held up, resell it, and now their target is to make a new low of day. All right, so the relief was here to here, or 56s, where was that? Here to here. They couldn't get back through previous day low. Previous day low. Sellers will try and complete this rotation to here. Buyers will try and defend this. A little bit like here now, folks. Build out of liquidity, relief, resell, new low. Right? Build out of liquidity, relief. Can they resell for a new low, or do they get caught? This is the target. There's no doubt about it. All right? This is a big node on the yearly profile. After that, here. If you're joining late, I can show you the nodes. I can show you why. On the yearly profile, where are you? Here we are. All right, you can see this node. All right, here, and then we have a little node. If you just see this little bump in the road here at 25,000. So blue box and then 25,000. Right, under that, all the way down to 800. We thin out very quickly. Every pop still being sold into. Hey, first time on the stream. I just caught 50-point move from 26.1. Nice, man. Nice work. Do I notice more traffic on your channel at all-time highs or big down days? Well, the last month it's been growing at an insane rate, the channel. I don't know. Maybe because I don't know why. I can't tell you why. I don't know why. YouTube suddenly has realized that I know what I'm talking about, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the 400 extra of you here have got sick of watching traders pushing codes and not teaching you anything. I don't. You guys tell me. You guys tell me why it's growing and why you're here. I don't know, but I'm thankful for it. I'm very thankful for it. Would it be a valid break and retest of 110 to go back upside? 110, 110, 110, 110. Yeah, yes, it would be. It would be if you see a break above and a hold of it, Nihao, then yes. If we can leave these participants all trapped, you need to wait for it. Remember, right now we're under previous day low. You're going to need to see this, and you'd want this little nugget here and this here to hold if you're looking for that break upside, just for a reprice. Right, but we've had a big dump, right, since the last pullback. Right, if we're going to get relief, if we just think about the swing points, right, then we can expect some relief maybe to 82s, which is look at that, the 50% retracement is right to the old naked point of control based on the current low of day. Let's just move this out to 25 because I think we might come down to there. But yeah, there is potential for a relief rally, no doubt about it. But timing it will not be easy. Counter trend trade is probably the hardest trade in the book. Here we go. So relief up to these 70s. We've got a little bit of a shelf here. You can see that. And then we thin out to 106s. And you're watching ES for a retest of previous day low. SPY's already retesting it and the 50-day. SPY's retesting that 75 level. Remember that gamma level at 75 we talked about. Maybe you get a little bit of a squeeze up to that value area low, which now is at 93. All right, so value area low has moved down to 93. All right, just remember trading views lagging slightly. It reads volume slightly differently, but value area low on the day based on tick volume is currently at 92, 93. So maybe they retest that and you have to see if sellers defend it again. Lots of things to think about here. VIX, by the way, took out the previous day high and has traded back inside the range. Just be aware of that. We're building a shelf here into and around 17. If VIX loses 17s, we trade back down to 1650. That is the moment you will get relief on the market. If the VIX is like, hey, calm down. Sorry for us new joiners. Your thesis for the day is shorting down under 25. I would not want to be short under 25,000, mate. No. That is a cover point. It is a cover point. The thesis, all right, most people in here that made big money took the breakdown under here once we left this volume, or they would have taken this retest here, and the cover points were here and here, and the runner is here, and if you get really lucky, it's here. I would not be, you're not a new money short down there. Think about value on the day, all right? There's value area high, there's value area low, there is point of control. You are currently at deep discount. You do not want to be a short seller in discount. It's more likely that we're going to see relief at this point. It's a shame we haven't taken that out, but it's the same as we didn't take the high pivot out this morning. And NQ's just being a little bit of a bitch recently when it comes to taking liquidity out of the game first. But there we go. Okay, value area low here. This white line I put on, make sure that's accurate. It's at 89, sorry. 89 right here. There we go. If you're wondering why, it's just different on here. All right, so I'm having to look at both screens, but I trust the value areas on NinjaTrader because they're based on tick. All right, so bulls now. Well, if I was going to defend a nice bulls, I'd want dips into 65 and 57s to hold, and I'd want reclaims, and I think it was Nihal that was talking about the 110s, break above 110s and a hold. I would also want that. So here's the squeeze, testing value area low. We still have sellers here on the tape right now, passively selling. SPY is back through previous day low and 75s. ES is not quite there yet. All right, ES is coming up to test this same level. This is where they keep selling ES over and over and over again. You might see some relief here as we squeeze back through value area low and see if they come and passively sell this. There are dips being offered at 20, at 40s. That's a bit low, man. You don't really want it down there. So that's the pop above value. If buyers are going to step in here, again, I would not be, personally today, I would not be a buyer. But if you are adamant on playing the counter trend, you would want this to hold 57s, and then you'd want to get back above those 110s. ES can't get back above previous day low. All right, so this grey box here, you're starting to build out a bit of a node here. If I was a buyer, what would I want to see? If I really thought we were going to squeeze back up today, I'd want this to hold, a reclaim, a pullback inside, and I'll be looking for this drift back into value, or at least into here. Into here was 50% of today's move, so 180 is maybe a possible target if they are ready. All right, you're going to need to see some compression down here. All right, you need to see something like this, and that's the relief, and expect sellers to come back in and sell that. Okay, so if you're trading the buy today, if you're going to be adamant looking for the buy, this is your sell. That's the counter trend. The expectation is that they resell that. Do not be trying to, buy high in this session or expecting too much. If you're going to be a buyer, you're a counter trend buyer, you better be locking in profits. What indicators are you using for order flow and the bands? The bands are just my Flow Zone Pros. These are rolling Fibonacci EMAs. And for order flow, I'm looking at Bookmap above and the footprint chart. I have footprint chart on Ninja. I also have it on here when I need to show you. All right, so you can also have it on TradingView. As you can see at the bottom of this auction today, we have some sellers caught down here. All right, we didn't quite make it in, so Delta flipped, and they've tried to sell here aggressively a few times. That's why I'm saying you wouldn't want it back below this. You'd want this imbalance here to hold. All right, buyers would really need this to hold. If you see it back under there, buyers are failing to take control for that rotation. So back into this grey box. All right, this is where buyers will need to step in. Failing to step in, we just go back down for a new low. Remember, 25,000 hasn't been tagged yet. Question, I accidentally bought Apex Rhythmic instead of Apex Tradeify. Is there any way to see both in Ninja at the same time? Yeah, you can. You'll just need to open our trader and connect that to Ninja Trader. You can use both. So this is the level bulls need to hold. ES rejecting, harsh rejection of previous day low again. SPY back under 75s again. VIX finding a bit of a bid there at 17s into those 5-minute flow zones. Be careful. Like I said, I would not be a buyer. I'm going to make this clear. You guys trade your accounts as you want. I would not be a seller down here, but I would not be a buyer either. I would not be convinced that we have finished this to the downside, but each to their own. Here comes the flush. Like any buy today is counter trend. I think that's the worst trade in the book, personally. More follow through here. They want that 25k. They want that whole number. They want that fib level. They want that little volume node. We're not seeing higher highs and higher lows in this market. We haven't seen a pivot yet. It's not to say we don't get relief and it doesn't come, but at the moment we are seeing a trend day, right? And we are seeing a move outside of previous day's value, outside of initial balance, right? We're not reclaiming any of these levels. So if you're going to be long, you are counter trend of everything that's going. That's not to say, right, that at some point we don't see something like this, but that's your counter trend leg. Right, and I expect them to resell that. Market stalker, will there be less volume? Yeah. Traditionally, yes. Less volume. But we have some remember, the government's been closed for a long time. We're finally getting the data out. We're going to have that JP carry trade. If we have a look, 20-year, 30-year, sorry. We pull back inside. I mean, everyone's watching that 420 break. Building liquidity here for a higher low for 420 break. Everyone's watching this, knowing if we do this, Q, down. All right, so traditionally, yeah, I'd say like lower volume. I think you'll find quite a lot of people might stick around at the moment because they're going to need to manage positions into end of year. I think the rotations happened out of tech into small cap. So I think MMs are, they're like, well, we're not going to make our money on the Qs, so we're going to have to find some way to make it. And they're probably trying to make it in safe names and in some of those sort of small cap names, probably playing some nasty squeeze outs. One of you short from 57. It's 57. Leaving the edge of that. It's not bad. It's risky because you're near lower day, but it's not bad. Just make sure you're covering some into here. This last candle, sellers came flying in at the lows. You're starting to break it now. You should get a low of day now after this last candle. I wouldn't want to reprice here. You should get a low of day now. I would just watch 14s, all right? On that low of day candle, that was your POC on that candle. That was where sellers got stuck at 14s, right? So I'll be watching 14s. Flush 14s, you should get 25K. 72 off sweet says trimmed one target for 25K. Nice, mate. Yeah, nice. I think you will get there. It's just like because your entry isn't a terrible entry, but because if we think about the whole swing, right, the best entries are all the way up here. Because you're entering here, you're just going to have to be a bit more careful managing your position. But we are leaving volume. We are rejecting this. We are rejecting this. We never reclaimed value on the day. This should happen. And under there, I would say again, a bit like on this move that we talked about. Was it this move here? I forget where it was. And I was like, you've got to cover on the snap. If we snap here, you must be trimming, right? If they do a liquidity run here, you must be trimming because you've got to be careful of that move. Because your entry is a little bit later, all right? Because you've entered from 52s. The snap of 25,000, cover some on the flush, right? If they're bidding here and they flush it, you must be covering some into their wash. It's so much like a small cap right now. It's insane. Probably a week after, a week into January, normally I would say, mate. A week into January. Here we come. So these 14s I keep talking about, that's that old POC from this candle. The POC on this candle is 14s. So I'll be watching 14s. And can you trade under 14s? If you trade under 14s, you should hit a new low. No new... you got a new low by one tick there. That's gross. I think you'll get a newer low than that. You should trade lower. This is gross. They absorbed. I think you will get it, but you just got to be careful. I think your entry was 50, wasn't it? So you're okay. I think it's coming. They're trying to resell this. Big buyer stepping in here. Big seller just clobbered him. Refresh selling passive. Retesting 20s. They need to resell this at 20s now. Big buyer stepped in again here at 20s. Do they reclobber him? Don't like what I'm seeing here. They need to sell it now. They need to move away from 20s for you. Back to 14s. This is good. Now you look better. Much more comfortable now. 25,000 coming up, and then 985 is on the bid. So if you break 25,000, you've got a new lower day here, which is good. 25,000 coming up. Make sure you're covering some into the wash under here, all right? Make sure you are covering some into the wash. You tapped 25K there. Make sure if you snap 25, or you should have covered some anyway into the grey box, like I said. But if you snap this grey box, you must be out the majority of your position. Back into a shelf here at 21s now. Relief here. Relief here coming. So they probably trade up to 40s now. Maybe even up to 55s where you got in. I think there will be one more sell opportunity. Not opportunity, but they should try and resell this one more time. Looks thinned out quite a lot here. So up to this 56 we go. Same level as before. This is why you have to cover those lows. Flat now plus 800. Really nice. Really nice. What do I mean by relief? Well, if everyone's selling down, the relief is this move here. So relief rally, right? We're going to test 56s probably. Same level as before. This is where all that delta came in. So we're going to test it, test it, test it, test it. Right into it. There we go. So can we poke through this now? And if we do, we're going to go back to value, which is 77. Sellers will want to sell this where we are now. And if they don't sell it, then all those guys at the lower day are going to get caught. ES still, SPY still not through its 50 days, still not through previous day low. VIX is turning back down to 17s again. What was the edge bottom of that auction like? Let me have a look. 80 lot, 60 lot, 21 lot. Not huge excess. Not bad, but not massive excess at the lows. So they couldn't get back through the 56s. They poked it, but no close above. Buyers will want to defend 30 now. Sellers still want a new low. They want to take out 25,000. That is what they would really like to do. Here they come. So imbalance here into 30. And through that should go lows. Should go lows. We're through the imbalance. Should go lows now. Wasn't that much excess on that last run. I think once we dump under 25,000, that's when you get a bigger stop run. They are defending it with all their might. So 6,800 ES, 25,000 NQ is the level. You know, I would expect a stop run under these. I really would. Absorption down there again, though. It's grey box to grey box. Rotation again. Sellers still in control of this market. They've still got targets below. Right? Liquidity is at 25,000. They're going to snap that and they're going to cover. That, or they don't have to. That's what they're looking to do. They've had 2 attempts now. This needs to do it right here, right now. You would not want to see this hold. You'd want to see this flush it right here, right now, because they've just poked back up to value and failed. Here they come. So they're going to have one more attempt. Again, if you have been short in this, you must be covering into the wash, which hopefully for you guys is about to start coming. I've got to move Bookmap up because it's moving so quick. I can't see it. You do not want a defend of these 20s. We've got a little node starting to develop here. You do not want that to be defended. You want a wash and a cover into here. If you get really, really, really lucky, they give you another 200 points. But where are we down for the day? 1.40%. Not convinced. Nvidia now 4% down. That thing's getting murked. Absolutely murked. Come on, sellers. You need to come and wash this out. Here we come. Back to these 20s. Got to let go of this shelf. Under 20s, we should just snap low of day. Got to get under this shelf, this little micro shelf of 20 to 22. They're absorbing there again. Sellers doing a pretty bad job down here, I'm going to be honest with you. Still think it comes, but they're not doing a very good job of it. And the longer they're here without snapping, the more of them that are going to get trapped on the relief. So you want to see this wash and wash soon. Big buyer coming in here. Being starting to absorb these 15s. I don't think he's going to last very long. Back to this shelf again at 20s. It's a big level. It's a big level. I think 25,000 is coming. It's a big, big level. Under the 15s, we should go 25,000. They're trying to aggressively sell this low. Someone's absorbing here. I think he's going to get hurt. Someone is absorbing 15s. There you go. It's absorbed again. No follow through for these sellers. They need to get back under 20s and 15s. They're unable to do it right now. I would not bid on this market right now until we've washed out, done a huge stop run, left lots and lots of excess of the low. I would not be thinking about the counter trend. I know a few of you are looking for that reversal. I don't think it's ready yet. Rejecting those 20s. Back to the 15s. If they wash 15s, we go 25,000. Under 25,000 is your cover point. Just watching this develop. I need a pee, but I've got to sit here and watch this. The worst timing. 22s. They're trying to reclaim 22s. Relief through 22s. There you go. Come on, sellers. You got to do it because we're not going to get a long for a counter trend rally until you take everyone out. Okay, they were there too long, so they get relief now. Too many shorts, couldn't get their way, and there's the relief. They should have broken down there. This little ledge right here, so they've repriced this low volume node. They should have broken down there. They had numerous opportunities. They might not still be done, but because they all got caught here, we relief back to this grey box, right? The rotation is here now, right? Over here, rotation up. Under here, they should snap this. This is your cover point for all your shorts, but this is, I would be slightly concerned here. We made a new low on Delta and we didn't make a new low on the chart, which means we have passive buying taking place here because we had aggressive selling. and we have passive buying down there. Someone is starting to absorb this tape down in front of 25,000 because Delta made a new low and price did not. So you've definitely got absorption under there right now. I wouldn't say so, Troy. I mean, we only missed it by a tick, right? Or did we actually hit it? Well, look, 25.25, 25,000, 25,001 tick. The concept behind relief. It's yeah, absolutely. Okay, so why did we get relief here? Why didn't we roll over here and do this? Because at this level here, right, we've got aggressive sellers, market sellers trying to hammer the market down. But what we also have is someone in this region, probably an institution, passively or limit buying. And he's absorbing and absorbing and absorbing and absorbing. And once the first one of these starts to cover, it's a rush to cover. And that's what gives the relief higher. And then what you get is probably this guy here who becomes a limit seller up here. Because the best trades to take are passive. Limit, limit. The guys that get stuck are the guys trying to sell the lows on a market order, right? That's why you get relief. It's when one side's stuck and you get a rush to cover. Imagine you've got one guy 1,000 lot short, another guy 1,000 lot short, another guy 1,000 lot short, all on market order, right? Once the first one covers, it's a rush then because you've got 3,000 lots which need to cover and you get that rush up. Yeah, like I said, is it Nihao? I think, yeah, Nihao. The last month's been amazing. I'm not sure why, but I'm very thankful because I've been live streaming since September last year now, and sometimes it's hard when I give out so much edge and to just not see the growth. But the last month's been really good. We're growing really fast. I bet, yeah, the dude 2004. I bet it has, man, because those gamma levels have been coming in clutch. I bet it has. Okay, back to 65. So that your value area low now is right. No, it's not 65. It's 71. 71. All right, this is value area low, which is also previous day low. That's a big over under right now. You're starting to develop like this coiling. Look, 3 attempts to move lower here. This isn't good for shorts. 1, 2, 3. Higher low, higher low. If we start doing one of these, you will see relief probably back into this range. All right, so shorts are starting to get themselves caught at these lows. If they don't get a breakdown soon, they will find themselves caught at these lows. They've had 3 attempts to move lower. They need a wash for their exit. Imagine if you are a short seller, your target is here. If you've been short and short and short and short and you don't get that target and your average is here, you're going to start to cover, which causes the squeeze. All right, and then they're going to resell it from up here. So just be aware of that. If shorts don't get a breakdown soon, I would be very, very concerned for those of you who have been short and holding a runner. You want to see this breakdown soon. If it doesn't come soon, I would just get out of it. Heath Edger, yeah, I know, man, it's mad. It's mad. I'm very, very thankful. Joe Bag 009 ditching Trader TV. I mean, if you trade futures, you're better off to be here. What I would say is, I absolutely love Sean. I love Sean. I think he's a good dude. He's a cool dude. If I go to Toronto, I really want to go and say hello to them. But yeah, you will learn more technical analysis with me than you will over there. But I do think Sean's a good dude. Fourth test, yeah, they're trying. They are trying. They are really, really trying. We're not back inside a value on the day. We haven't taken out 25,000. They're going to have one more attempt. They really need it. We're going grey box to grey box, remember. The cover point is under here. I'm desperate for a P. Do you reckon I can go for a P and make it back in time? I'm going to try. Let's try. they done it yet? Still not done it. Very close. Grey box again. It will come now. There's no way they come down here and don't do it again. It will come now. They will snap 25,000. If you're short, you must cover into this wash, which is about to come. You absolutely must be covering into this wash. They're going to snap it. Like, maybe they defend 20 here. They should snap it, and you must cover into the wash. I cannot believe that they defend this. No. Cannot believe that they do this. You've got to defend 20 here. If they don't defend 20 here, there's a shove all the way up to 40 very quickly. I think they will defend 20 and wash this back down. They're trying to defend 20. Oh, they've got stuck. Where's the passive seller? Is he back in? There he is. Took a minute to come back there. Break 10s here, you go 25,000 and flush. Oh my God. Some big players just come on the tape and he's trying to absorb it up here. He's not fucking around. He's throwing numbers through. Here you go. He was not messing about, mate. Back up to 40, like we said. If they don't hold 20, you're going to go 40 real quick. That's what just happened. Back to 20 instantly. And now you might get it because they've had one more attempt. Now it's coming. There's no way it doesn't come now. Surely. That last shove was enough for them to get a breakdown here. All they're looking for is a cover under 25,000. So all they want to do is to get a cover of under 25,000. Here it comes. Make sure you're covering. It's going to come right now. Make sure you're covering on this wash. It's coming right now. There it is. Cover some here, please. Hold your runners. If you get really lucky, you get 800. But I think that is a good chance that in the next couple minutes we see at the end of the auction, right? So even there, I called it for you. Even before this happened, I said, oh, there's a big buyer has just turned up. He's probably going to go 20 to 40. Boom, boom. All right, that's all he wanted. Job's done now. You can hold runners for bleeding, but I would not expect it. If you get down into the 800s, amazing. But it's more likely that they use the next trade inside as the point at which shorts get trapped trying to play the 25,000 break. But if you're going to play the long, you're going to have to wait for it. Pretty new here. Appreciate the insight, man. Just curious and serious question. How do you find your gamma levels? Well, you can use actually the tool on TradingView for options. You can use anything like menthol Q. You can use Tide on. Oh, why can't my brain work? Tide on. Someone help me out. Tide, Wave, there's loads of them. Tide is from... I'm going to have to scroll through to try and find it. Spot Gamma, there's another one. Unusual Whales, that's Tide. They all do the same thing, right? They all do the same thing. They're just pulling data. Okay, if they reclaim here, be careful. You had big sellers coming at these lows. 49 lot came in at 85s. All right, like I said, if they start reclaiming 25,000, you will probably see this be the end of the auction and we go upside from here. So here we go. They are trying to end this auction for a trade upside right now. I'm not saying it is it, but that is what they are trying to do. So if there is not a break and a new low and they reclaim 25,000 here, you will potentially see relief. They've held 25 good there, actually. It's a good hold. Let's see. If they break lower, what's left to go for? I think that's the only thing. Reclaim 25. They're going to try relief. I think if they get through 20s, there's a bigger squeeze to 40s. If they get through that, it's 64s. So potential trigger long counter trend for the end of auction trade. Here's the move to 20s. If they get through this, you go 40s. Here we go. Here we go. Don't say I didn't fucking tell you. I don't want to hear anything like that. I can't call this out ahead of time enough. Okay, so here's 20s to 40s. Relief here. Old imbalance right now is at 48, so they might come and test that. I would tell you now, if we start popping through 65, there is a bigger squeeze on the table here. So I think that is a good chance that we've made the end of auction. There's a good chance that this can be the end of auction. Look at the volume here. Look at the delta at the lows. Look at the squeeze out. Watch this node here. It's up to you if you want to trade the counter trend squeeze, but I'm telling you what I'm seeing right now. We're into a low volume node. If we start getting through this and we get through 50s, we're going to go value area low. If we get through that, we're going to go straight back inside value for the day. If you're going to trade counter trend, you must move stops into the money aggressively based on pivots, all right? Is that the Nasdaq? So I'm new here. Yeah, NQ, so futures, not QQQ, but yes. So this shelf here, I would say sellers are caught under 10s. If they defend 10s, relief is possible. If they defend 10s, relief is possible. For here, I do it as 2 ticks, row size 2. But if you want it as number of rows, I would do it as 1,000, right? So you could do it 1,000. It's up to you. This would be the same. There you go. Same, right? But I tend to have it set 2 ticks. 2 ticks, because that actually matches what I have on footprint. It's the main reason. Okay, they're not defending 10s, so they need to defend these lows. If they don't defend the lows, we will break down. They need to defend 25,000 now on a retest. Failing to do that, we'll break down new lows. Like I said, if you're going to play counter trend, hardest trade in the book, you're going to have to be aggressive. Lock money in. With my account set up, I trade options on QQQ based off your chart. A bit different game, but stop losses and profit targets because Greeks and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, it's the same. It's exactly the same, right? Like I watch the Qs. I'm watching it right now, breaking down around those 603s. I know if we break under here, we've got a 602 and a 600 level. And I also know on SPY, 670 was a huge level of a huge put wall, 670. So VIX looks like it's going to go again. So we might get a new low here, folks. And they are adding bids downside for covers here. So maybe still breaking down. Like I said, I don't trade counter trend squeezes. But even that pop over, what did it offer you there? 35 points. Not bad. If you're going to play counter trend, you've got to be very, very careful. Especially in a washy market. Not much excess here. That's the only thing. We need a wick like this underneath. What would be really nice is a nice long wick like this with massive sell side delta in down here. That would be really nice. And then this and this, and then you get that move. It'd be really, really good. Which is kind of what ES looks a bit more like. $25,000 again. They're reselling 25,000. It's starting to look a little bit messy here. Oh, it's not surprising we're getting into lunch. Might get a lunchtime sort of relief. You know, if they've all been slamming puts all morning, do they cover them into lunch? I don't know. I don't know, but be aware of it. Trading today in this community was a thing of beauty. Thanks. So you're welcome, Green Otter. 5 consecutive lower high, lower lows, lower time frame. You mean in here? Yeah. I mean, it's still it is still breaking down. It's just whether they wash and reclaim. I wouldn't be short here now though. You've hit every single. The only thing left is if they really want to go for this, but you've hit every single target. I would not be short down here. No. Okay, because we are deep in discount on the day. We are deep in discount from previous day. We are deep in discount. Previous day discount is also weekly discount. All right, we don't want to be short down here. You can be short from up here and covering down here, but you are not a new money short down here. You will get stuck. I promise you. Unless you get very lucky and it does this. But we don't trade based on luck. We trade based on stats. This is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. At some point, they will come topside. All right. At some point, too many are likely to get stuck and they will come topside. Do not short low of day. No. Sound like, what film is that from? with Sir Ben Kingsley. I love that film. Sexy Beast. No. You can't. I won't repeat what else he says. It's still good though, Joe. This morning I did shorts, got about halfway to where we are now. Hey, like, it's still good. It's still good. You're still sat at your desk trading, right? Relief here. If they get through 20s, there's still that move to 40s. If they get through that value, I'm very tempted to start joining here for that relief rally higher. It's starting to come now. And we're leaving buy-side imbalances. It's really getting aggressive here. If they hold bids, if they hold the next flush into 17s, this thing will squeeze. They've got to hold a flush into 17s. Small size in this, just in case it really wants to go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Beautiful. See if they hold a dip here into this low volume node. If we get through this, I think the squeeze out into this grey box. Value area low right now is 60. They will need to hold dips into sort of 20s and 18s for me to consider adding. Otherwise, not interested. Already paying myself along the way. I'm not looking for too much because it's counter trend, right? Here's the dip. So you want this to hold 18s now. If they're really going to give relief, they have to hold 18s. You would not want this little... you can't even see it on here. It's annoying. There is a little shelf at sort of 20s. You don't want that to give. This is actually here. Here we go, folks. Nice. And let's see if we can get up to 61s here. There's a little sell side imbalance here at 50. So if you want to cover some into this or sell some into this, you can. We're looking for value area low. Remember, it's counter trend squeeze. Once we get over value area low, if we find acceptance over 60, we can actually think about a trade back upside. If we get acceptance over 60, all right, we can think about that move up here, and then we can think about reselling it up here, back down. Getting stuck at these 50s right now. Big seller trying to come in. I don't think he's going to get his way, but we're into a big node. So now I want it to hold 40s, really. I don't really want to go in that low volume node. 37s, let's say. Don't want it under 37s on this runner. And I'm happy to add back in if we base over value. Coming in, you're going to take me out, aren't you? You prick. Okay, so it's going to go back down into these 20s again to pick up this imbalance that it left. Can always add back in if I want. But this is why, if I'm going to trade counter trend, I'm very careful. And then come back into these 20s to 17s. You're holding this shelf. You don't want it to if it flushes under this, do not sit in this trade because it's counter trend. Cannot tell you that enough. We're still under current day's value. Fuckers. You fuckers. And we're into lunchtime. We're going to do an Apex giveaway here as well. Give me just a second for this, just in case I want to pick it up again. Not liking what I'm seeing now. Let's just see. Waiting to see. There's an imbalance here that I'm looking at. I still don't love the excess, but there's an imbalance here. So if they do this, I'm interested. If they slice through it, there's no play for me. They're coming into it now, and what, one more little bit to fill, which they've now filled. If they slice this low of day, so they need to absorb right here, right now. Don't like what I'm seeing. Nope. No. Leave alone. Big seller's still involved. We can wait for a reclaim. Yeah, you guys are early. You type in the code in for the. We haven't even said it yet. We can do it now. I was out of that trade. Like I said, probably go lower day now. Once it lost that imbalance, they had a chance to hold that little shelf. It's really annoying. You can't really see, but if I show you 22s, basically on the tick, there's like this here. And all they needed to do was hold that, and they failed. So now this is looking more and more likely. We still don't have huge amount of excess here, so we did catch some at the lows. Like the sell candles was 356 delta, 134 delta before we turned around. We're into lunchtime now as well. So, you know, main trend is down on the day. The easier trade is lower, but I don't want to sell low of day. I'm already out. Like I said, if it I was out. I was selling into that move of 50 and I was fully out if it couldn't hold that imbalance in 20s and the teens. Like I said, if it can't hold it, I'm not going to hold on to it. It's gone. The trade's gone. Been and gone. Yeah, Peter. Yeah. The last stop today would be this down here. Let's go over that now. If they're really going to do that move, I'm somewhat surprised, but if they're really going to do that move, that would be the last stop. Let's just put a fib in as well. Just make sure we see where the 61 is as well. All right, I'd watch 900. What's the edge of this shelf? I'd watch 940 and 900. 900 to the 61 of the daily swing move. From the low of November to the high that we put in, that peak high. I'd watch that move where we are now all the way down to 909. If we fail that, I'd be watching this node. Okay? So those are the two levels. So you could mark it out. So I'd mark out 900, I'd mark out 992, and I'd mark out 809s. Just call it 810s. That's what I'd mark out. Those are the sort of areas that I think you could think about. You know, how... Just want to measure this. Sorry, folks. Give me a second. So we're rejecting that 20-day. So strong rejection. Over 2% down. So really strong rejection. Why couldn't they just poke this up for us this morning so we could have sold the 500s? Would have been kind of them to do that. All right. Let's get this back on and let's do a giveaway for you lot. Did you break that low? Did you have excess there? Yep, 58.93. There was excess on that low. I'm not going to touch it. Let me do the giveaway for you guys. Let's do an Apex giveaway. Give me a second. Don't type it yet. Please don't type it yet because it won't include you. I haven't said it yet. Ah, fuckers. Now they've put excess on. Look at that wick like I talked about. You little pricks. All right. Not you guys, as in market makers. Not you guys. I wouldn't call you guys that. All right. We're going to give away. First thing we're going to give away is an Apex account. Those are 80% on sale right now. All right. So they've moved it to 80% sale. Still has the cheap activation fee, which will last till the 23rd of December. So if you want to load up for next year, now's a great time to do it. Just type code FZT once in chat. Only once. You don't need to do it more than once. Otherwise, it pulls you out. All right. And we'll pull a winner shortly. So just type it once in chat. Look at all these people. I love it. Oh, is this market now going to go? You little prick. Now we have that. Now we have excess. All right. Now we have excess. Delta's starting to try and flip here. Yeah. Oh, you bugger. You bugger, you. Well, the good news is now we're getting more and more people on stream. I will be able to go back to the prop firms and get some more codes to give away, which is awesome. So hopefully we'll be at a part where we can do more and more and more giveaways soon, which would be awesome. Awesome, because I love helping you guys out. Who was it on chat? Someone this week, earlier this week, who had won a free giveaway on Apex, passed the account and had turned it into his first payout this week. Things like that make me happy, make me really happy. Okay, 30 more seconds, guys. This is starting to really relief now. Oh, God, I can't believe. I was one go early, and then as soon as I started talking to you, setting this up, it's gone. I was one go early. There you go. It was TJ. Yeah, I mean, that was awesome. All right, let's pull this winner. 8 Wall. Are you here, 8 Wall? I will ask Johnny. I'll do my best. I'll ask all of them, honestly. I've got 3 funded next accounts to give away. 8 Wool, awesome, awesome. Congratulations, 8 Wool. All you've got to do, email me info@flowzonetrader.com. In that email, I just want you to send a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube. I'm going to make a note of it now. 8 Wool. Apex account. All right, so info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of your YouTube and I will pay you. I won't pay you. I will give you a code so you can have any size account you want. All right, let's do one more giveaway. I'm going to do the introduction course. If you don't like my course, do you get your money back? Mate, I'm not being funny. I'm not giving you 20 hours of education and like Discord for life and private lessons and giving you your money back. No, because you could just say, I don't like the course, and you would have learnt lots. No worries, 8 Wool. All right, let's do one more giveaway. We're going to do the very introduction to markets course. It's only like 2 hours long, but if you've never traded before, it is a good course. All right, it's only 2 hours long, but if you've never, ever traded before, it's very beginner friendly. This is the course for you. If you have done the beginner to advanced course, or you've done the order flow course, or any of these ones, and you don't want to do this, you have a choice. You can tell me to re-roll it and we'll give it to someone else. We can just give it to a friend and family member for Christmas. You can also do that. All right, so what you got to do, stop typing in chat. What you got to do is type course in chat. All right, just type course in chat. Just type it once. And it's up to you. If you don't want it, if you want to give it to a friend, you can. If you want me to re-roll it in chat, we can do that as well. I'll give you guys a minute to do this. We're starting to hold down here. You can see this liquidity is starting to really be built down in these levels here. I'm getting quite envious that I'm not in this at the moment. I'm going to be honest with you. We've caught sellers twice at that low of day. So I'd say 25,000 we've caught, and 24,985. We've caught twice. We have caught them twice down there. Probably going to get some relief coming. I'm probably done for the day though. Give you guys 30 seconds more. And as there's loads of you in here, we can talk about some of the things I have available for you lot. Tom, I've just seen your email. As soon as I get off stream, my friend, I will get you set up. Just seen it now. I've just seen it. Sorry about that. Must have missed it. Can I give you a rundown of the screen? I'm used to volume bars on the bottom and don't have the order book bars top right. How do you read them? Okay, we'll give this away and then I'll give you a rundown, Joe. No worries. All right, let's choose this winner. Oh, Nacho Libre. That's Miguel, right? Miguel? Do you want the course for a family member or someone, buddy, for Christmas? Give it to your wife? Okay, awesome. I'll hit you up on Discord then, buddy. We're chatting Discord. I'll sort you out. I'm happy you won. That's really nice. Miguel's a long-time member. Okay, so who is it? Someone asked for a read on what we're looking at. Let me just scroll up to see what he was saying. Can you give us a rundown of your screen? I'm used to simple volume bars on the bottom and don't have the order book. Bars on the top right, how do you read them? This is volume profile, right? So this is how and where order has been placed based on price, not based on time. This is volume based on time at the bottom. This is based on price. So all we do for this, right, this is just a tool. You come to this one here, 1, 2, 3, fourth one down, all right, and you're looking at anchored volume profile, and you click on it from 9:30. Okay, I have it set to go to the right hand side. My settings are right here for you. All right, so I use row size 2, and where is it? To put it to the right, and placement to the right. Okay, there are free videos on my YouTube explaining all of this, how I use it, how it gives you your levels, all those things. Go and check them out. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay, so there's a few that I've done on like volume profile mastery, how to set it up, all of these things. They're quite popular videos. There's a whole section on my YouTube completely free, all about volume profile trading. At the bottom of the screen, what you're seeing here is delta. All right, so this is delta per bar, not cumulative delta, delta per bar. So what I look for is things like this at the lows, right? If I want a low of day, I'd want a nice long wick, and in here at the lows, I'd want it to be all sell side delta. And the way I would really see that, and it doesn't look very good. You out? Yeah, see you later. All right, darling. This actually doesn't look very good for an end of auction because this is buy side delta at the low. We don't actually want to see that. What we want to see is this sell side delta all the way down to the low. So I just had a little peek at that now. So I would say this auction probably has not finished yet. It probably may well have more in it lower, which is good that I finally had a chance to look at it. What else are you seeing on your screens? All right, the Flow Zone Pro indicator is this, right? All this is are rolling Fibonacci's based on the time frame you're looking at, and daily and weekly levels. All right, so previous day high, previous day low, previous day close, previous week high, previous week low, previous week close. Everything else are horizontal lines that I am putting on the screen, like previous day value areas, previous week value areas. Right, that's what we're looking at when we're seeing this. Is the footprint on TradingView? Yes, my friend, TradingView. All right, so right here, this button here where you normally would have candles, you want to come down to volume footprint. You will need, is it called the Pro account? I can't remember what it's called, Pro account or whatever it is. So it's a little bit more expensive. They often have Black Friday sales. That is the time to get it. They might have a Christmas sale. It's worth looking. But yes, that volume footprint chart is on TradingView. I also have it on NinjaTrader. Jose says, I just passed my Apex 25K eval. I can vouch for the course. That's awesome, mate. Congratulations. Thanks for joining. Looking forward to working with you more and more and more. Any Tradeifys to give away? Not yet. I will, like I said, now we've got lots of members joining all the time. I will be able to reach out to Brett and ask for a bit more support from them. All right. So Apex have been very good, but we will ask for some others. We are still in this sort of awful downtrend. I wouldn't be selling low of day here. I'd be looking now probably for the bear trap. What I'll be looking at now is for a bear trap, for a squeeze back out, and I'd look to resell probably either this edge or all the way up here. All right. I wouldn't be selling down here. You need a price higher to sell into now. You're deep in discount on every single time frame. Remember, I just want to remind you, remember on the daily, you cannot lose sight of where we are. Right, on the daily, you are deep into discount here. We went over these levels. You are coming into your 61. 900s is the 61, 800s is next. We're already into discount. Doesn't mean we can't keep going down into these, but if you're short here, you want to be short on some pop up, which creates liquidity. You do not want to be short at the low of day down here. You are going to want this to trap some bears, encourage bulls to get in, reprice higher. I'll be looking at these levels, right? Where does it want to stop? Where is the swing point from this morning since we left this range? Where could we price back into? Right, I'd be really interested in a price into sort of 150, 160. Where's high of day? And 200. So I'd be looking at 150, 160, and 200s. That's if I was going to resell it. That's where I'd be looking to resell it. I wouldn't be selling low of day. You're going to find relief. Shorts will get cooked down here, and you're starting to see it right now as we're talking. Hi, Alex. I just passed 20 accounts on Apex. I truly appreciate your guidance. Hey, mate, I can't push those buttons for you. That is you doing that job. Congratulations. Nice work. Does it work better on TradingView than Ninja? I really like this on TradingView. I think it's really, really clear. It's so easy and clear to use. On Ninja Trader, I use a third party because I don't love the order flow that comes free with Ninja, but there are plenty of third parties which are really good. Setting a swing limit order on CFD for 24,800. Let's see tomorrow. Done for the day. Oh no! Oh, I see what you're saying, Peter. Well, fingers crossed, mate. Yeah, I mean, yes, basically, simply put, Doji. Yes, I think what is likely to happen is we will get relief. Like I said, right? We will see some form of relief. If we think about this, is selling continuation. This is not selling continuation. This is likely to see a relief up, which is then sold back down. All right, so I think we'll probably get relief up, and then I think you'll see sellers re-step in. They won't. Smart money will not want to sell the lows. They just won't. All right, this is not a selling pattern, is it? All right, it's not a selling pattern. This is going to get tight, and you're going to see sellers at the lows get caught, and then sellers come, and then buyers probably chase too high, and then that resell. That would be my anticipation for what's probably about to come, and it's already starting. We've been talking about this for, God, the best part of an hour probably, and it's finally starting to develop. That kept saying under 25,000, I would be covering my positions. You are not seeing acceptance under it. You are going to see relief higher. All right, they're going to squeeze this out higher. Imagine you were short at 25k. You're about to get squeezed out. Then you're going to see buyers come and join in too high, and then sellers come and slam this back down. That's what you're going to see, I would anticipate. Ninja's horrible. ATAS is good. Found a prop that gives you a free license to use that. I mean, each their own. I like Ninja. I've had a couple issues with setting a few bits up recently, but I'm happy with it. The 1 hour chart showed ES 6806. I played shorts to there, and now I'm long. There you go. There you go. It's playing reversal back up. And if you look at VIX, VIX can't get through high of day. Right, so the other thing I'd be looking at is why you have to pay attention to what's going on across the board. Previous day high. All right, poke above, fail. If we start to lose this and trade back into here, you will see QQQ and SPY go upside. All right, so just watch this break on VIX. If they do that, you'll see more relief in the market. All right, folks, I am out of here. Congratulations. Thank you for joining me. We will be back tomorrow. Remember, big news prints tomorrow morning. Big news prints tomorrow morning. I mentioned order flow on TradingView. Yeah, I just showed it. Maybe you missed it. Joe Bag, me from 6 months ago would have been screaming confirmation and buying near the top of the creation of liquidity for today's sale. There you go. So you've changed immensely, which is awesome. Yeah. It has footprint, mate. Yeah, it has everything. They launched it about it's probably about a year ago now. 6 months to a year, something like that. What's the name on TradingView? What for order flow? It's up here, mate. We just went over it. Come to your candles, your types of candles, and come down here. Volume footprint. All right, volume footprint. Yes, Joe. 9:15 New York time, Eastern time, Monday to Friday. All right, Monday to Friday, 9:15. You will always catch me live there. It's important. Well, I would say it's important you join at 9:15, not at 9:30, because it's from 9:15 to 9:30 that I talk about the setups I'm looking at and why. All right, so those first 15 minutes can be good for identifying those key levels. How much is activation for Apex account again? Let me have a look. It's like 40 or 60 bucks at the moment. Hang on, Bella did text me this morning. For 25k, 50k, and 100k fees, lifetime activation is currently 65 bucks. Thanks, Roscoe. It means a lot. Thank you, mate. Thank you, everyone, for supporting. Futures are open for the rest of the week, right? Yep. Open the rest of the week. All right, folks. I will see you tomorrow morning, 9:15. Those in Discord, I look forward to trading with you there. If you've enjoyed how I trade and you want to learn more, please go on my YouTube. Before you do anything else, go onto the free education on my YouTube before you spend any money at all. Make sure you learn everything you can for free, all right? Keep your costs down. If you enjoy how I teach, all the different courses are on my website, flowzonetrader.com, all right? So if you want to do more advanced stuff, if you like how I teach, if you like how I trade, everything is there. But go on my YouTube first. There's so much you can learn for free on my YouTube. Here comes the relief, folks. So if you were long, I'd start paying yourself a little bit. All right. Peace and love, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Really appreciate all the kind words and support. Trade safe in the afternoon. Remember, we've taken all the easy, low-hanging fruits. Now we're going to build liquidity. Don't get trapped the wrong side of it. Take care.